ARNE slot. La 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 la. ARNE slot. La 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 la.
Yes, guys, good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing? Thank you very much for joining myself again on another Liverpool debate. Guys, we're going to be talking about a lot of Liverpool fans don't trust the new structure. We'll go ask why. With that help, I've got Luke with me today. How you doing, Luke?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
All good, all good, all good. Guys, don't forget to go hit that like, subscribe, and share, and all that sort of beautiful stuff. If you would not mind, I'd appreciate it. Hope everyone's doing good. Big up everyone in the chat. Hope you're all doing good. Big up Spider. It's been a while, my man. Hope you're doing well. So big up everyone in chat. Thank you very much for joining us on this Sunday evening. Yeah, we'll go. I think K-Mac will be joining us at 11:30 as well. So yeah, look, I've been watching a lot of Liverpool stuff lately and listening to a lot of Liverpool stuff lately, and yeah, I think Liverpool fans are in a bit of a mess. I think it's quite divided. Some Liverpool fans want to live in the past and have the past as the past and have the past as our present. Some Liverpool fans are, excited about what the future brings, and some Liverpool fans are pessimistic about the future, and because all they know is Jurgen Klopp. Luke, I'll go to you first. Like, how are you feeling, under this new Liverpool structure? Klopp called it Liverpool 2.0 last year. This is 2.01. So, how are you feeling about the new Liverpool structure?
In a weird about way, I'm already looking forward to the new season. Like, I'm already looking forward to, I'm not really fussed about the Euros because I live in Wales, so everyone is hoping England do shit, basically. I'm hoping that every Liverpool player comes back nice and early, unharmed, ready to go for pre-season. But I'm pretty excited, especially when you see around the league about the mess that everyone's in, chasing around for bang average managers. And Liverpool are sat there, got the manager in. Wouldn't surprise me if we make a signing before the Euros even kicks off. And also the other news tonight that's dropped about a certain board manager leaving next season.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, he's getting out before he gets cooked. I think that's what's happening now. We will get to Pep Guardiola stuff later because it is big news, and everyone's a bit taking the mick out of Manchester City's parade today. Look, it is what it is. Man City aren't a big club.
Parade today?
Yeah, they're not a big club. I'm not really going to diss it. It'd be like they're not a big club, so they're not going to have massive fan turnout, are they? And Man City fans know that. Let them be happy with what they got. It is weird. It is weird that they did a 4-peat. They made absolute history. And the two things come out of it. One, the first thing their administrator on Twitter did was quote a Liverpool quote. Yeah. That's the first thing they did. Was it 4 means more or something like that?
This means 4, I think it was.
Yeah. So obviously quoting this means more from Liverpool. And second, no one knows that they won the league title. I've never seen anything like it. I will say, and this is not the fault of Manchester City. They're just not a big club. So that's the thing of it. They're not going to get traction. But the fact Jurgen Klopp got more traction leaving Liverpool in the Wolves game in a dead nothing match, got more traction than Man City winning the Premier League. I think it tells you the state of football right now, in my opinion. I think football is an absolute mess right now. Football is a cartel. I will keep saying this. Football is a cartel. It's as simple as that. And
we're part of it.
And everyone's falling out of love with it, man. Everyone's falling out of love with it. The reason everyone fell in love with Jurgen Klopp leaving that day, and even neutrals watching, is that they actually were like, Jurgen Klopp's actually a great guy, great manager. you know, you feel something, hate or love, no matter what it is, you feel something drags you. You might hate the guy, you might love the guy, but something drags you, and he's a football romantic. So that's what's so good about it. Otherwise, football's a cartel, man. Football is a cartel. Man City got to get away with everything because the Premier League don't want to open their books up because Man City all want to tell everyone, you think we're corrupt, look at Man City, look at the Premier League. Premier League don't want to be doing that because that'd be the end of English football as we know it. So yeah, a whole thing's corrupt. Whole thing's corrupt, man. And Linda cooked Man City, by the way, which is beautiful in her Instagram message. Yeah, big up Linda, man. Big up Linda.
Yeah, the only time she mentions Liverpool is when it's time to cook an opposition.
Yeah. But getting back to the Liverpool stuff, big up for Sam in the chat. He says the Bournemouth thing worries me. It's a different level. I understand that, Sam. I understand that as well. I understand all this. I think mostly I think a lot of people are actually looking forward to Arne Slot. I don't think a lot of people are against the Arne Slot choice now because if you look at management, yeah, and this is what I'm going to say about football right now. The thing I worry about football right now is that it's all about how you look over how good you are as a manager. And the reason I say that, right, it's aesthetics more than anything else. Because Vinny Company got relegated with Burnley Football Club on 27 points, right? And now he's apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, is apparently going to be the new Bayern Munich manager. Top 5 football clubs in world football. He's gone from 27 points with Burnley, getting them relegated to going to Bayern Munich. Aesthetics. Because he's got the aesthetics, yeah?
Talk about falling up and failing upwards.
Who was the Burnley manager before that?
Sean Dyche.
We all know.
Sean Dyche,
why did he got the sack? But he done better with Burnley than Vinny Company ever did. Dyche did better with Burnley than he ever did. Why ain't Dyche getting the Bayern Munich job? Why weren't Dyche getting a Bayern Munich job or anything equivalent to the Bayern Munich job when jobs were coming available with the work he did at Burnley on no money? Everyone forgets as well, Vinny Company has spent more money than Dyche ever did. All right? 27 points got relegated, man. Why did Dyche not get manager opportunities to go elsewhere to bigger, better clubs? Yeah, I tell you why. It's aesthetics. It's not aesthetically pleasing. Vinny Company is. It's about aesthetics. This is the world we live in today. It's about who you are and how good you look. It is. It's a fact. It's life now, and we're seeing it with footballers. People want Liverpool to buy footballers they've never heard of because they're aesthetically pleasing. It's an absolute fact, right? People want managers, don't know how good they are, but they want them because they're aesthetically pleasing. Fact, right? I don't want any of that. I'd rather have someone who's got one eye, half a leg, and is a better coach than an aesthetically pleasing coach that does the job for Liverpool Football Club. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't understand the world we live in today, Luke, football wise as well. You know, all this, like, I'm seeing like people talking about the transfer policies in the summer. We should go for that player, and that player. Does anyone watch these players play?
I don't.
Or is it an aesthetically pleasing transfer? Was Andy Robinson an aesthetically pleasing transfer when we bought him? No. I know a lot of people said, why are we buying a left back from Hull? What are we doing there? Why did we buy Gini Wijnaldum from Newcastle when they got relegated? What's that about? I remember people that did not want to buy Mo Salah. I know people. I remember when it was done, I was on Liverpool channels at the time. People were in the comments going, why are we buying a Chelsea reject? He couldn't make it in the Premier League last time. Aesthetics. People don't watch people play football. Everyone's a scout today. Everyone's a scout. Every football content creator is a scout. Everyone who writes on Twitter in their mum's basement is a scout. It's just the way football is today. No one lets anything breathe. Nothing lets anyone breathe. You know, you lose one game and like, right, fuck off. Let's get the next geezer in. Pochettino getting sacked from Chelsea is a diabolical decision because now they're looking at McKenna from Ipswich. Why would you go from Pochettino?
That looks more like Zerbi, I think, to Chelsea.
Even to Zerbi. You know, De Zerbi took over Graham Potter's Brighton when he had Graham Potter's players, did well, right? Sold them, got his own players in, and did worse. The proof's in the pudding. Why does everyone like these hipster, bollock, shit brain, fucking useless football managers? I don't get it. I don't get it. De Zerbi took Potter's Brighton, made them a little bit better. Yeah, attacking wise, because he had his players. He carried on the Potter way of playing. Then he transferred it to his way of playing this season after getting his players in the transfer market. And then he did shit. But everyone's like, do you know what it is? Because people aesthetically like De Zerbi, and they like his football and all that, and they aesthetically like him. They're like, oh, he never had his players in. It was a bad transfer window for Brighton. Every fucking year since Brighton have been in the Premier League, all I ever hear is Brighton do the best business in the Premier League. But when an aesthetically pleasing manager who's not very good comes up and doesn't do well, it's Brighton's problems. It's Brighton. I'm getting sick of football, man. Football is dog shit. It's absolute dog shit. And now, geez, again, he lost. So everyone's telling me De Zerbi's this great manager. Do better. It's simple. Do better. He bought his players in, G. This is what no one gets. He bought his players in. He didn't do better. He's a shit manager. It's aesthetics. We live in a world of aesthetics. It's all anyone cares about. It fucks me off. Big up, K-Mac. That's my rant done.
I have nothing else to say.
He just got the brunt of it, and G knows I love him, so he just got the brunt of it.
the only slack I can give him is, Jesus Christ, he lost everybody this season.
Hang on, 1 minute. Hang on 1 minute. De Zerbi took Brighton to the Europa Cup, so you're talking absolute bollocks. Paul, where did they finish, man? Did they win the Europa Cup? I just want to know. Did they win the European Cup? Did they win anything? I don't get this aesthetically pleasing bollocks.
They had a lot of injuries. Yeah, that's all I can give him. But he did. Who did he sign? He signed a couple of players, and he ended up.
He signed Mohamed Dahoud. When Mohamed Dahoud went to Brighton, Liverpool fans were going, "Why didn't we buy him? Why didn't we buy Mohamed Dahoud? He was unavailable. He's fit."
Well, breaking news.
I am so sick and tired of this aesthetically pleasing bollocks. It does my head in.
Oh God, I love this.
Oh,
you can sign all those managers, Chelsea, lads. I don't care. We got our guy early. Boom.
Exactly. And I think everyone's actually happy with that guy. I think every Liverpool fan is pretty much happy with Arne Slot now. Because I think a lot of Liverpool fans have done their homework and seen that Arne Slot's actually a pretty good coach, you know. And I don't think Arne Slot's the issue. I think behind the scenes is is the issue personally. TW774 says Poch over Slot, no brainer.
Not
I like Poch as a coach, so I'm not going to dismiss Poch. But TW74, let me know why it's a no-brainer.
I don't think he should have been sacked. I thought that was harsh.
No, sacking. Oh, it's just
you got them into Europe. Like they were a mess. Like
well, apparently Chelsea are no longer considering Kieran McKenna as one of their options.
Who's he?
Kieran McKenna might do well.
Who's he?
The thing is, though, guys, Kieran McKenna might be a good coach up and coming. The fact is, he needs to prove himself.
Oh, he's the Ipswich manager, isn't he? Is he the Ipswich manager that did like a double promotion?
Yeah, double promotion. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair one. That's pretty good. Like
he's a good coach, man.
Give him a season in the Prem before we then put him in charge of Chelsea. Like
he'd also see in the chat. I don't know how true it is that Chelsea are only looking at Enzo Maresca and Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank, I think, is a good coach. So I'm not going to go against the Thomas Frank thing.
Enzo
I actually think
Maresca's
he's a good
got to
coach.
replace Pep, hasn't he? Like,
No, hey,
it's his
Leicester
assistant
fans
manager.
Leicester fans want, like, I think at the beginning of the year, Leicester were like 17 points clear at the top of the league, and they just about won the
Just
league.
about made it, yeah.
Um,
Stumbled over the line.
yeah, G, I completely agree with you. I have no idea how good he is.
No one
Um,
does. Well, I do.
know,
'Cause I've
I
been
don't know
researching
how
it.
good he is. I'll be probably paying attention to pre-season more than ever I've done before in the Klopp, just to see how he operates. I might actually watch a pre-season game.
Honestly,
Work
can you
depending.
put in the chat what the tweet is, mate? Please.
What tweet?
Honestly, it's just have a look at the tweet that Ornstein's just done.
Yeah, I follow Ornstein though, and I've
Yeah,
not. I need.
I don't want to click on anything in case I lose my headphones because my headphones connect to anything
Oh,
that's
yeah.
got
Oh,
wireless in the
yeah.
house.
Yeah, so Chelsea are no longer considering Kieran McKenna. Maresca and Thomas Frank are the only known options remaining. But I think
Frank at
the
Chelsea.
Zerbi is still going to get the job.
Yeah, it's made for a
Rio
mercenary,
Diaz
isn't it?
said Diaz has to go, Jamie. I totally agree with you, JM.
And I
We're
think
going to
he's
talk about
going.
Diaz stuff later because
He will.
too many Liverpool fans got a massive erection for Diaz, and I don't get it. But yeah, like I'm just sick of this aesthetically pleasing football. Where like it does a. Jamie, you seem to be talking.
It's the hipster, isn't it? It's the hipster,
xenophobia,
like
meaning
the hipster manager people
you
want.
seem to have a problem with foreign coaches. When did I say I had a foreign coaches, Paul? When the fuck did I just say I had a problem with foreign coaches? I just said I like some of the foreign coaches we just mentioned. I just said I like the Brentford manager. I rate the fuck out of him. I just said I rated Poch.
Oh my god!
They're both foreign. Could you imagine Thomas Frank at Chelsea? It's weird. That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
I don't get. I just, all right, I sack it all off. Right, I'm an Englishman. I don't know if people will notice this. Yeah, sometimes I like to back me own because I'm English. Right, it's just life. Yeah, like, I'm gonna fuck it all off. England is dead. Fuck it. Right, no English managers. Anything British that comes through the soil, everyone fuck off because we're not allowed it. Right, I'm sick of this shit. What world do we fucking live in? It's madness to me. It's fucking.
Did you have a roast dinner today?
You can't praise a
roast
British
dinner?
guy because you're racist. You can't praise a foreigner because you're anti-British. What the fuck world do we live in?
You broken me.
Did you have money on Leeds to win today? Is that what it was?
Fuck Leeds. What the?
What a pile of crap that was.
Hey, Somerville.
I just
No,
don't
thank
get
you.
Rubbish final that was.
I don't get this life for him.
Somerville, yeah?
And I loved the fact that Anthony Armstrong scored again because he'll never score in the Premier League.
No, Armstrong's a great championship player.
He's
You
great.
know when you get certain players that play really well in
that's the
certain
level.
leagues.
Hey, if I'm the data team, I'm just deleting Somerville off that list because he stank.
But no, I like, guys, just to clarify this, yeah, I like everyone.
Like backspace,
You're British,
backspace.
Foreign, it doesn't matter to me. I like everyone, yeah. But if you're not very good, and that considers if you're a foreign manager or a British manager, and I don't think you're very good, and you're a bit the hipster's choice because it's the way we live now.
Like Wayne Rooney getting appointed as
no agendas over here. I've said it on this channel many times. No agendas, just facts. If you want agendas, go to another channel where they'll just sit and talk about anti this, anti that, anti that for about 15 fucking hours. Yeah. If you want that, go. Fuck me.
You know that Richard Hughes probably watched that final, and then he's probably texting someone in the committee going, "Who recommended Somerville again? Who was it?
Sacked.
Linda's? Nah."
In fact, I've got another one. Sorry, guys. I've got another one.
And it's like,
a fucking
Archie Gray right back. Nah.
Okay, mate. I've got another one now. I want a British non-binary football manager. There you go. I've said it now. Let's do this, yeah. Let's put everyone in a. Let's get a British non-binary football manager, yeah, yeah. And he just loves everything woke. Yeah, should we just do like what is going on in this world?
Probably Brendan
I like
Rodgers.
what I like, and I don't what I don't, and like everyone else is the same. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ Almighty! That's my tits in. That's my tits in. And I've got tits, so it does me in. You know what I'm saying?
Southgate, someone wrote.
British non-binary manager.
I mean, as Southgate, I think Southgate's a eunuch.
I think
I
Southgate
think
is
he's
a
got any
decent.
genitalia.
I think. I just think. I think Southgate's an all right coach. It's been proven with England. I just don't think. I think he suits international football. Do you know what I mean? You know, he suits international football.
I really think he needs to go to Man United.
So
Like,
you don't
just
like
like a
foreign
match made in
managers,
heaven.
Jamie?
Please make that happen,
Just
someone.
listen.
I'm going to lose the will to
People
live.
just not listen. Jamie rates Poch. He rates Frank.
You know,
He
my
actually
favourite
rates
Liverpool
Sloth.
manager is.
They ain't British.
My favourite Liverpool manager is Gerrard who's French. Jurgen Klopp, we love, who's German.
Yeah, that's quite a few foreigners.
It,
So we go
Rafa.
from like an
Rafa Benitez,
Argentinian,
who brought us the European Cup. I love. He's
Argentinian
Spanish.
to a French
I
guy to a
don't-
Spanish guy to a German. Yeah,
I'll
I reckon
go
that's
through
a fair
this
few
again, guys.
foreigners.
The right person for the job. I don't care what they are, who they are. Doesn't bother me as long as they do the job. Do you know what I mean? I just don't.
Southgate will end up at
I'm
Ipswich.
just saying, his managers. I don't get the Zerbi stuff. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand it. You know, he's had long enough at Brighton now to do things his way, and his way don't look that good. It really don't. I don't know why that's a massive criticism.
Hey,
I don't get why.
wanted
Now,
to
if
turn
Zerbi
Brighton
finished
into the
fourth with
Italian
Brighton,
job.
I'll be like, whoa. You know, then he got rid of the players, brought in his own players, played his way.
He wanted
his
Italian
way's not very
players.
good.
Like, wanted Italian players. Apparently, he went to the board and went, "I want Italian players." Boom, 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 boom. Basically, told Tony Bloom what to do, and I've got someone that I work with who knows someone at Brighton. And the second that happened, Bloom was like, "No," and then that's when they fell out.
TW74, if it's a joke, put an emoji or a quotate something, because it didn't come as a joke in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But it's all love. It's all love. It's all love.
I mean, one of the
It's all
big
love.
issues with Zerbi is
It's all
his
love.
ass whooped by Luton. like that's really not
He
good.
likes to call out the board for not getting
I just said
control.
Southgate
really
is
not
a coach
good.
at international level. Right, hang on. Is my mic on? Like, is my mic on? I don't get the world we live in. I just said Southgate's a good coach at international level, but I don't think he can cut it at the top end of British football as a club manager. I mean, some people are good coaches, but not good managers, guys. There's a massive difference. There's a massive difference. But let's get back onto the stuff at hand. I think we all like ARNE slot. You know, look at the world today, as I said, with the Vinny Company comparisons, taking a relegated Burnley. Apparently played good football. I didn't know losing was good football, but there you go. Apparently plays good football. We got to get rid of this thing, guys. I'm sorry. There's only one way of playing football, guys. I'm going to say this right now, and it's the winning way of football. That's all that matters. Winning football is all that matters.
Those 3 points.
He's playing the right way, or he plays good football. Vinny Company does not play good football. He loses every week. That's not playing good football. I would say Luton played better football than Burnley this season.
Hey, did anyone see the clip of when Company was at Anderlecht losing his shit in the dressing room? And I saw someone do a tweet saying, imagine him doing that to Muller, Neuer, Kimmich, of him just losing his shit when they get a point away at Augsburg next season.
The problem is, he's not going to have respect in the dressing room off those guys.
I think they might respect him just because his name is Vincent Company. But hey, if I'm Alonso,
they know what he's just done. They know the crap that he's just sent a team down.
hey, Alonso,
all he had to do was like
next season.
All he had to do was buy a few defenders. And he just bought loads of kids up front. Like, They can't score. I
it,
think
it's the aesthetic
Crazy.
thing of football again.
all he needed was Nat Phillips.
Yeah,
He was
I love
there.
the fact. I love the fact we got our manager in. We got our manager in.
Yeah, I love that.
When our other manager, was a legendary manager, was leaving the football club. We did our due diligence as a football club to make sure we had the right man in charge before the end of the season, done and dusted. Because if you look at all the teams losing managers right now, and looking for managers, Liverpool would be in a massive market with a lot of other people, maybe demanding things, money goes up, prices go up. So I'm glad Liverpool have done their work, got Arne Slot in. I'm happy with Arne Slot. I think a lot of the Liverpool fan base is happy with Arne Slot at this moment.
I'm more curious. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. He speaks well, but he's all good speaking well. I need to see what he does on the pitch. And I don't know whether or not, like, you've seen quotes from, like, the players like Virgil and Trent when they were questioned at the F1 about it. They seem pretty relaxed. Like, they know what's happening, what needs to happen. So, looks positive. I don't know. You can tell online that things are going in like, people are relaxed. Everyone's just super worried that we're going to get off on a bad start and then we're going to be calling for his head in 6 months. Like, he's getting at least the season.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the slot out thing. It's driving me mad. Be like Jay Atfield, Somerville's better than people think. I think that was talk in the chat about Somerville. We're going to get to the Somerville stuff, guys. Don't worry about that. Company won't last 6 months at Munich.
He's a championship player. I'm not signing championship players.
It's mad to me. It's mad to me. Yeah, I watched that. I'm going to talk about the Somerville stuff later. We watched. I don't know about you guys, but I watched the playoff final, and there was another player who impressed me far more than Somerville.
Archgrove.
Yeah, but he's a diamond, man. Right.
He's related to Andy Gray. Did you know that? Sorry.
Andy Gray was good forward in his day.
He's from the Gray family. Like,
well, as long as he ain't got the touchy feelings of his uncle, and then we're good.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Right.
18. It's got time.
Keep it PG. All right. The structure of our football team, guys, that's been a big thing in demand at the moment, the structure of our football team and the way it goes. Not a lot of people are happy that Edwards runs the gaff, like he's in charge, right? And Richard Hughes is the sporting director, because I don't know if people were taking it wrong what head coach means. They're like, a lot of people don't like the fact that Arne Slot is a head coach. They would have preferred him as a manager with all the decision making. But apparently people think this is like a brand new thing that happens nowhere else in world football. Like, it's head coach thing. And the head coach thing happens a lot in Europe, because you got to remember, a lot of European teams, they have presidents and they elect people to run the football club. They don't have, someone who solely owns the football club all the time, who buys the football club. So, Ancelotti at Real Madrid, he's called the manager, but in fact, he's really a head coach, because we know whoever the president of Real Madrid is, he buys all the players. He gets all the players in, the manager has to deal with it. So is anyone worried about the head coach thing, guys? The philosophy and the structure of the club? Luke, are you concerned about it in any way?
A little bit, because obviously there is going to be concerns, especially about Richard Hughes and about the conversation that Edwards had with FSG to get him to come back. Yes, I don't think Klopp announced that he was leaving and then straight away we've gone to Edwards and gone, yeah, please come back. I'm wondering if there's been conversations for a while and Edwards has sat down his stool saying, bring me involved and then I'll run everything football wise. If you want another club, I'll sort that out. But I need this, and this. Keep out of the footballing things. Like, tell me what I've got to spend and that's it. And let me run everything. And people are just going to be concerned that he's going to be so power hungry because, like, yeah, Jurgen's out the door now. My biggest pain in my ass, basically, is now left. Now I can run shit my way. And My only slight concern is that he can be too cold when it comes to getting rid of players. Now, how Klopp was too loyal, wanted to keep players a little bit too long. There could be a thing with Edwards, like he could be a bit too cold, and he could be like going, "Yeah, bang, out," and we're going, "This player's still in his prime. Why are we getting rid of him?" But Edwards could be like, "Yeah, get out." I think that's what people are worried about. That he's going to come in and he's going to rip that squad apart and go, "Yeah, you're out, you're out, you're out, you're out," and then we're left going, "Oh, great." I think that's what people are concerned about. Is that people just don't trust the fact that they're gonna like clear out everything Klopp. I think that's what people are worried about. That he's going to clear out everything Klopp was, so he can build the team and club in his image.
That sounds a bit religious.
Is it?
No, the way you said build it in his image.
Build it in his image. It is.
It's religious.
I think like he's
That's
come
God.
back in and keeps leaving. Arguably, his biggest pain in the arse has now left. So now he can run the club his way.
I think is it okay to go? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all reading into that a bit too much. There's a lot of stuff that I've heard. Edwards actually tried to persuade Klopp to stay and work under the new setup, and they really did try to work it out to try and get Klopp to stay, and that's why the whole blank check thing came in and that. And that was not Billy Hogan. Who's the other one? Who's the guy that was doing the presentations? I keep on forgetting him. Mike Gordon. Yeah, Mike Gordon. And they tried to get Klopp to stay to see out his 2026 contract. And that was with Edwards, by the way. But he wanted to go. I'm not worried, and the reason why I'm not worried is we've got a lot of people back at the club who knew how to deal with the club when it was at its pomp, when we were going for everything, when we were top of our game. You know, we got all the people back in the club that were there when we were doing those 96, 97 point seasons and Champions League finals and, you know, European League finals and, you know, finishing second and winning the league. Like, we're all there, like, and they're all back. So they've been there and done that, and it's muscle memory for a lot of them. The only thing I feel that could happen, there could be an exodus of players which have recently been signed because they weren't signed because of they fit the team or they fit the style of how we play or they're Liverpool type players. And that's the only thing I've got. I do feel like in the next year or two, there probably won't be any players left that have been signed over the last like 2 or 3 years. Maybe McAllister and Sabolsai. But for me, I feel like they were committee signings anyway. And they tick all the boxes for committee signings. That's the only question I've got. As for the coach thing, I think we're a little bit far behind. I think the whole head coach thing's been happening for a couple of years. I think we're a little bit late to the game. And we've still got an old school manager that's doing what Alex Ferguson did. And there's not many of them around. Like Gasparini's probably one. You know, Simone's probably one. You know, Jose Mourinho when he's managing. You know, maybe Conte. I don't think there's that many left. Seriously. And that's just the evolution of football management. And you know, Slot's worked with that before, and that's all Slot knows. And there's all kinds of rumours going around saying that like Slot wants to go back and get all his final players.
That's
I
just
just don't
easy
think that's the
journalism.
case. Yeah, I just don't think that's the case. I just think that's media hype and clickbait and people trying to get, you know, a lot of people just connect the dots, don't they? And they go, oh, well, what should we do with the manager that's coming in? I know, we'll link him with all the players that he just had. Like, yeah. I mean, people just need to stop talking about Hughes, not Edwards, because it's Hughes. that's going to be signing the players. Hughes is going to be, sending the committees out. And if you don't know, Hunt has just come back from Brazil, so he's just been doing stuff in Brazil. So
Yeah, did see
maybe
that.
Andre's going to come in. I don't know, but maybe we'll get that Varela type player that we've been looking for God knows how long. So I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm not worried.
No, I understand people might be concerned. Big up to Sam, who was in the chat earlier, saying about a bit worried about Richard Hughes from Bournemouth, and I understand that because Bournemouth have been buying at level for Bournemouth, so as he got more knowledge to buy more world-renowned stars for Liverpool than he has for Bournemouth, we go get Bournemouth like transfers. Here's my issue with everything. There's the way this club is going to run strategically. There will be players that we sign in the next few years, this season, next season, the season after, that people are not going to agree with right away. We'll go and buy players in sometimes where people go, see, this is why we shouldn't have had Richard Hughes in charge as the sporting director. This is a Bournemouth level transfer, or, this is why Michael Edwards shouldn't have had the power. And then a year or two later, then players are phenomenal for us. And you see why we bought them. That's where I do think this is going to go for Liverpool in the next few years. This is the way we're going to play. And the problem is a lot of Liverpool fans, I don't know what's going on with my hair, my God. A lot of Liverpool fans want certain players, like, why can't we get this player? Why can't we get that player? These players are tenable. We've got no ambition, blah, 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 blah. And I don't try and get involved too much in what people were talking about. You should get that DM from Atlanta. We should be going all out to get, kudos. We should all be going all out to get this player, that player. And, do they fit the style of football we want to play? Do these players fit what Slot is going to do for the next few years? Do they fit with the players that we have around in our team right now as well, which is something people never think of, actually. You've got players in your team right now. Does a player that comes in mesh with the players around him? Do they link well? Would they play well together? Would it be too much difference? You got to think of all these kind of things at the same time. So I think there is going to be players in the next few years, guys, and even this season that a lot of people are not going to agree with. They're just not going to agree with it, and you're going to get like, this is why this is why we shouldn't have had this, we shouldn't have had that. But it's like Alexander says here, what is an ambition signing? Because at this moment in time, like, Arsenal spent 100 odd million on Declan Rice, yeah, and at the end of the day, it actually did nothing for Arsenal because they went trophyless again and finished in the same position they did the year before. They had a chance to beat Man City at the Emirates, where Man City had most of their top stars out injured. They was in a bad turn of form. They were probably there to get beaten by an Arsenal team who was actually on the rampage at the time. Nothing happened. So, and I'm not saying Declan Rice ain't a good player. He's a fantastic footballer. But, how long I'm hearing new things as well now, because this is the day of age of football we live in. Arsenal fans don't want to win trophies. I've never heard anything like this before. Arsenal fans now say they don't want to win trophies. They don't want to win an FA Cup. They don't want to win a League Cup, because all that matters to them is Arsenal apparently got themselves on such a level is that all they care about now is Premier League and Champions League. They're the only trophies they care about. But the problem is, if you don't win them two trophies, you're winning nothing every year. Pep Guardiola was very happy winning 4 League Cups in a row, guys. Arguably the greatest manager of his generation was very happy winning 4 League Cups in a row. Mourinho used to love winning the League Cups. He said it was the first trophy you could win, and it gave the team a sense of winning and hungry to win more trophies. No, we're getting to this stage in football now, guys, ain't we? Where we are saying that don't matter no more, that don't matter no more, that don't matter no more. This is the only thing that matters, and that's it. this player don't matter. This player don't matter. We must have that player, Luke, ain't it? And this is, I don't know about you, Luke, but this is the stage of football. It looks like we're getting
The
to
shiny
now.
toy syndrome.
Yeah.
It's the shiny toy. Because when you said what's an ambitious signing, I'll ask everyone in the chat who's been a better signing for Liverpool this season, Szoboszlai or McAllister? Because if you look at the prices, Szoboszlai was supposed to be the marquee signing, and McAllister was supposed to be a good little pickup from Brighton. 2 different prices, 2 different seasons, and it was the player that cost the least that had the better season, which proves it's not about how much money you spend, it's about how you spend it. Just go and ask Chelsea if they wish they would have spent that £1 billion in 12 months better. Just go and ask United if they regret spending that £1 billion over 10 years buying some quality and some shit. And they'd be like, oh, I wish we actually knew what we were doing when we were spending our money. So it's all about how you spend it, and everyone just wants the new thing, just the new transfer. It's like, oh, we must get this player for 100 million, even though that when the player's linked, you're like, yeah, that player doesn't really fit in, but you want him because it's big money, and Liverpool don't spend 100 million. Then it's FSG's fault that they're not willing to get the checkbook out, even though that we put in a world record bid for Moises Caicedo last summer.
Yeah.
So for a club that doesn't like spending money,
I will say as well, like in all honesty, our best signing was probably Gerald Quansah. Like, can you imagine the shit we would have been in if Quansah hadn't have been able to step in because Canate was injured.
Yeah.
Gomez wasn't going to get played as centre back. Like, Klopp just did not want him as centre back. He played once, I think. Like, honestly, like Quansah and Bradley were probably our best signings. Like, Trent was out for ages and Bradley came in and people were like, do we need Trent back? Are we going to miss Trent? Like, you know, you don't have to pay money for brilliant signings.
Yeah.
And
like,
for anyone says about signings,
Endo did an incredible job. Yeah.
K-Mac's on about signing them to the youth academy and then building them up. That's what he means by
yeah.
But yeah, like they have been to better players this season. Big up Jay Atwood says our fans would rather spend $1 billion and be shit.
Facts.
Yeah, and that's not everyone in the chat, by the way. We're not talking about anyone in the chat. It's just, you know, it seems mad. Caicedo was fakery. Do you know this Caicedo?
The actual owner of Brighton confirmed.
And
Billy Hogan.
Billy Hogan also said he went off his own back and did it himself.
You need to look at the interview.
Billy Hogan did it himself
after it happened.
He didn't tell the sporting director. He didn't tell Big George what he was doing. He just phoned up.
And plus, I heard by my same mate at Brighton that Tony Bloom wanted to sell to us.
Yeah,
like, he said he would.
Tony Bloom wanted the best deal for Tony. Like, at the end of the day, Tony Bloom wanted the best deal for Tony Bloom. You know, that's what he wanted. But you know, so how it happened is that Chelsea had a bid for Caicedo turned down. So Billy Hogan saw his opportunity and went, because if anyone wants to believe the story, so this is the story, yeah. So Jurgen Klopp badly wanted Jude Bellingham, as we know, yeah. FSG and Billy Hogan and Mike Gordon promised Jude Bellingham to Jurgen Klopp, but it'd take 12 months to get him because they just lost Haaland. There was no way Borussia Dortmund were letting Haaland and Jude Bellingham go in the same summer. It just wasn't happening. So as soon as Haaland went, there was no way we're getting Bellingham. So Klopp didn't want to lose any of his midfielders that summer. And that's why Klopp gave the interview to Anfield Wrap and mentioned all the players at Liverpool in the midfield to boost them up and give them a bit of confidence because they know the Jude Bellingham thing was happening. So then it goes to, we didn't buy anyone. Then Klopp actually saw them play and was like, shit, we need a midfielder. And that's why he said, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. We need a midfielder. Everything happened, and then no one was about, and the club was like, here's Arthur Melo. It is what it is. It happens, yeah? So because of that mistake and that happening, Billy Hogan tried to please Jurgen Klopp and make him happy by going, look, as a sorry for all this shit that happened, I'm going to try and get Caicedo for you. He saw Chelsea got turned down. He saw his opportunity. He made a phone call. He made a bid. The bid got accepted, and Liverpool were in for the race with Caicedo. But what Billy Hogan didn't do is tell the sporting director, who could have phoned Chelsea and done a pre-meet first to make sure that Caicedo actually wants to come to Liverpool, and then do all that. So that's the story of that. So it was a real bid. It was a real transfer. It was sort of like I'm apologizing to Jurgen Klopp for the Bellingham saga, but we went around it in the most unprofessional, shit way you can ever imagine. And that is why we have a new structure at our football club. So that shit never happens again, guys. Ain't that correct? And that's what we want.
Yeah,
that's
there was
what
a
we
lot of
want.
shit, and there was a lot of shit there.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, it's just what happens, guys. It's just what happened. Liverpool didn't know they had any money left for Szoboszlai because Klopp wanted Szoboszlai apparently, and he didn't know they had any money. Billy Hogan said, "Yeah, we can get you Szoboszlai if you want." George Schmack went and done the deal. Billy Hogan was really the sporting director at Liverpool. He was the one pulling all the strings. George was just the face because Billy Hogan couldn't. Yeah, Billy Hogan couldn't officially go and do go and do it. So Idiot. Billy Hogan was pulling the strings, and then George Schmack just went and done the job. Got the deal signed and things like that.
I just hope everything's going to run smoothly this window. I think this window is going to be key. But when it comes to players wanting out, we're able to move quickly to get them out rather than them lingering around, because we like to get the best deal. Are we going to be willing to haggle to get the best deal, or are we just willing to get players out, even if it means we take 5 million less than what we originally wanted?
The olden days. The olden days, we got deals that were insane. Do you remember some of the deals we got?
Yeah, I don't think we'd get some of those deals again. Well, if a certain club in Spain want Luis Diaz, I think it's time to go and rob them again for every penny that they've got.
Yeah, and this is the thing with transfer guys. I don't know who we're going to get. I think Liverpool going to be linked to every person who can kick a football. Because especially young players. I think Liverpool going to be linked to very talented young players, because with the people now in charge of Liverpool, with the data they have, that's what they look at a lot. And, Somerville, let's just go to Somerville. That's what, today, again, Liverpool heavily linked with Somerville, like a lot of other players are. Now, the rumours today is that Leeds United not getting promoted now have to fund £100 million worth of sales so they don't get in trouble. So there's going to be maybe some quick fire sales at Leeds. Archie Gray and Somerville will probably leave Leeds this summer. I don't think they're going to stay in the Championship for one more year. Plus, if the rumours to be true that Leeds need to make this 100 million, I don't know if it's true or not, but that's the reports going around at the moment. Them two players will leave. Now, because of that, Liverpool are more linked with Somerville. I've liked him for a while, Somerville, as a project player. But I've said it again, and I'm going to say it again now. I don't think Liverpool need project players this summer. Maybe next summer you can get a project player in when you got your team settled. I think Liverpool need more ready-made players that can go straight into the side and kick on from for next season, more than a project player right now. But K-Mac, I'll go to you first. Somerville is very much in the mould of how Liverpool operate. There's obviously a talent there, and he's got a lot of attributes that would look good at Liverpool Football Club. But yeah, I can understand the rumours, K-Mac, but at the moment, I don't think he'll be the correct choice.
I could see Olise ahead of him. Seriously, like they want 30 plus million. They wanted more, actually.
Oh no!
They wanted actually more, but I reckon it will probably get him for 30. But we're not paying 30 for him. I'm sorry. He's only got one good season, and it's a championship season as well. Guys, I just honestly, I see some real surprises. I really do. Like Olise, like everyone says Olise is overrated. Like, just watch him. He's absolutely phenomenal.
It's going to be United or Chelsea.
Yeah,
That's
but
the kill. That's the
he
kicker.
wants to come to a club where he's not going to end up getting bloody loaned out to Dortmund in a year's time because he never played. I don't know. He doesn't want to go to a club where they kill wingers. But at the moment, Liverpool have killed wingers. I really do see us getting maybe a Sesko. Just I don't see how Darwin makes it. There's too much about Darwin all over the place at the moment, and he won't shut up either. He's doing interviews left, right, and centre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sesko plays for RB Leipzig, by the way. He's got a £50 million release clause.
It's 20. He's another project.
Unbelievable. Yeah, but he's like a Haaland. He's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
He's scored 20 goals this season, like as a 20-year-old.
Here's my thing on Olise. I think Olise is obviously a talent. There's no doubt about it. There's no denying his talent.
I know Sesko's not a winger. I did say that. Sorry.
My when I watch Olise play, he's a talented boy. He's a bit of a street baller. There's no doubt about it. But my issue is it at the moment, and the reason I wouldn't go for him just yet is because at Crystal Palace he's their best player, so he's allowed to do whatever he wants. He's allowed to do whatever he wants, and he's given the freedom to do it. At a bigger club, they'll put more structure behind him. You know, no matter what big club he goes to, especially in the Premier League, he will have to defend. He will have to be an up and down winger. He won't have the freedom like he does at Crystal Palace. You know, Luis Diaz doesn't. You know, Luis Diaz is. If you look at Luis Diaz for say, Luis Diaz is a technically good footballer that can dribble, take people on, has got all the technique and tricks. Yeah, he's that kind of footballer, but he is structured down not to be allowed to do too much of that at Liverpool because he's got other duties that he has to do at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying? And with Olise, that will happen to Olise wherever he goes in a big club. He'll have magical moments, don't get me wrong, and he'll do amazing things. But at Crystal Palace, the Olise you see at Crystal Palace won't be the Olise you see at a big club. It just won't. It just won't. So I'd rather see Olise go somewhere first before I take the gamble that he's going to do that, man. I see Jadon Sancho, you know, like Jadon Sancho was tremendous, you know, at Bayern, Borussia Dortmund in the league that he's allowed to look tremendous in. He came back to the Premier League for Man United, and you know he doesn't do it. And everyone can say about Man United's state at the moment. Bruno Fernandes, who I hate, does it every week. Yeah, because he wants to be the best. Some players they look great, but I'm not sure.
There's a lot of people in the chat like I think Olise is just ready to go. Like, was he 23 now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's French international. He's got an unbelievable cross on him, you know. Like, honestly, like 10 assists every season at Palace. Like, he's ready, and he's got a £50 million release clause. Like, you're never going to get him that cheap.
Mm.
It's crazy. Eze gets injured too much for me. Sorry.
See, I think Eze is
like
Eze.
I do like Eze.
I think Eze is the better footballer. That they actually suit Liverpool more. I think Eze would suit Liverpool more than Olise. But
Palace haven't helped with their injuries either, by the way.
Yeah, Eze's injury record is not. You know, every time I watch Palace, Eze never seems to be fit. You know, Olise seems to be fit quite a bit. I think the Olise injury thing is a bit of a myth.
The hamstring this season was the worst one he's had.
Yeah, the Eze thing though, Eze always seems injured, and I think
he had Hodgson as his manager. By the way,
I think Eze would suit Liverpool more. I think Eze's a top draw footballer. I think Eze's better, man. I think Eze. I'd rather have Eze over Olise for Liverpool, in my opinion.
I just think he fit a slot system. He would. Likes his pacey wingers who can cross the ball. Sorry.
Thing is, I don't think he's going to play like that at Liverpool.
And he's also got Premier League experience, like quite a lot. I don't know about Dutch players. I don't know. Like, everyone talks about Dutch players.
Yeah,
I just
I'm
don't
a
know.
little bit like
It's Dutch tax in it. It's weird.
What does everyone not like about Dutch players?
I think it's the league. It's very hit and
It's
miss.
just a real
or is it just the way
easy
our
league.
manager? Is
It's
it the
like
way
you
our
either
manager set them up?
get a Suarez or you get an Anthony. There's no in between.
Yeah, but there's a reason Anthony. There's a reason Liverpool.
I mean,
never
Mickey
bought
Mount
Anthony.
went there and scored like 20 goals, didn't he, when he was like 18?
I mean, the thing with the thing that with like Dutch players that everyone keeps talking about is that if you get Dutch players but you don't play them correctly, they go look crap. If you get English players and don't play them correctly, they go look crap. If you get German players and don't play them correctly, they go look crap. You know, I look at a lot of Dutch players that come to the Premier League have done really well in other teams. Has Gakpo been used properly this season? And when we see him used properly, he's actually one of our standout footballers. Has Gravenberch been used properly this season? No, but when he has done, he's been one of the standout midfielders when in a couple of games he's played that he actually was allowed to be Gravenberch. I just don't know. There's a reason Liverpool never went for Anthony, because Anthony's dog shit. He was at Ajax and now he is at Man United. He's just, you know, Anthony's one of them fake footballers that everyone gets off their seat about and starts kicking their cock in their hand and getting excited about. You know, it's the way football fans are. I don't blame them. It's the way football fans are today. They love aesthetic dribbling. They love it. They can't believe it when they look at him like, oh,
Do you remember that? Do you remember that
like the
turn he
table
did?
moves when they're having
Remember that
breakfast.
turn he did when he ran round the ball? Do you remember that in the Premier League game? We did that thing when he ran around the ball, and you're like,
he did that road
what are you
thing,
doing?
and then
Are you
didn't
like
pass it? He gave it away after.
what are
You know,
you
it's
doing?
just, and people were like, oh, let these players
Hilarious.
play, let them entertain. Yeah, I let people like Ronaldinho entertain, who can dribble past people, flick it over their head, keep it, take the next player on, and then score. Yeah, I let Ronaldinho do that because he's a great. I'm not letting Anthony do it. Aesthetically pleasing footballers drive me
Apparently we're
mad.
in pot 1 for the Champions League next season.
What's that?
Again?
We're projected in pot 1 for the new format of the Champions League.
Yeah, we should be fucking royalty.
Yeah, we should.
Well, Leipzig are in the top pot as well, apparently.
You know, it's just Anthony is the worst Brazilian winger I've ever seen. I don't even think he's Brazilian. He's Algerian, I think. He's not. You know, you look at like Rafinha.
Dishing on Mahrez there. They had some good. Algeria's got some good wingers.
They have. Like Mahrez is 100 times better than Anthony.
Yeah.
Like 100 times better than Anthony. You know, it's just, this is what football is today. Everyone just loves these footballers that are pleasing to look at. You know, if you had a team of Anthony, can you imagine a forward line of Saint Maximin on one wing and
from
Anthony on the other?
Gibraltar.
Can you imagine? All right, you got a striker. So you got Alan Shearer as your number 9, yeah, who needs service to get the goals, yeah, and your two wingers are Saint Maximin and Anthony. They're your two wingers. Yeah. Shearer would be watching them taking players on, and he'd be like, right, I'm getting in position, lads, I'm getting in position for the run. Cross the ball. And the cross never comes. And it's
You've got Diaz on the other side.
Keep waiting for that. And then you look at Anthony. Anthony's like, he's watching Anthony. He's like, Anthony's taking players on. Oh, he's just beautiful. He's done some kind of roulette shit. He's all right. And he's giving the ball away. Right. Yeah. No, it'd be the most frustrating thing in the world, man. It's like Luis Diaz in your team. It's just.
Sorry.
It's just,
he never crosses the ball. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, man, it's just mad. I don't. It's just
what
mad
I love as well is I love the fact that like all these people behind the scenes aren't supposed to be starting work till like June, and they've been doing work for like about 3 months.
Don't do it, Dan Ashworth. Yeah, just don't get caught sending emails when your agent's not even spoken to you. When United haven't even spoken to your agent yet. Don't do Dan Ashworth.
What a pillock.
Yeah, Dan Ashworth's a bit naughty, isn't he?
Yeah, they made for each other.
But yeah, I've got a thing about
stuff at
aesthetic
Man U.
pleasing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, there's got to be people watch this and go, "Oh, Jamie don't like ballers." I do like ballers, guys. I like people that
Like
can
proper
do
ballers.
that and then create or score at the same time. That's what I love. Find me them wingers. I'd have them in a heartbeat. If you got a winger for me that can do what Luis Diaz done, if Luis Diaz could do what he does right now and then score, and I don't know, as a GA of 40 every season, 40, 45 every season, I'll be like, that guy can never leave. Like, never leave. Right? But I don't have that guy.
He's gonna be
People
getting
on about
from
Doku
Barcelona
today.
this
I
summer.
don't get this. People need to tell me what's the matter, right? People watch the FA Cup final, yeah? I didn't even know it was on, right? People watch the FA Cup final yesterday, right? And all I'm seeing tweets about today is, that Jeremy Doku's a quality player. So I watched the highlights back. He was the worst player on the pitch. Like, what am I seeing here?
I played what? I played
It's
all right.
not, I take players on. I create nothing. Let's
He
start
loves to
again.
step over.
Take players. I create nothing. He's just a Belgium St. Maximin. I just don't get this. I don't get it. Jack Grealish is a far better winger than Doku
He's
is
got end
right
product. Jack Grealish has got end product. Like, he may not look pretty,
now.
but
I
mean, he won them the bloody treble. Like, if they didn't have Jack Grealish in that team that year, they'd have not done the treble. Like,
who's
he
been
creates.
better this season as a winger? Doku
Creates.
or Garnacho?
Why-
No, I'm not even. I'm saying this
why are we
because I am
comparing
actually
mid
putting
to
this out there right now to
Quite
everyone in the chat right now.
I quite like
Everyone in the
Skeletor,
chat.
but he's always offside. But I do quite like him.
Who has been a better winger this season, Garnacho or Doku? And everyone's thinking there, shit.
Probably Garnacho.
No comment.
He's got more goals. He's only 18, isn't he? 19? Someone wrote Garnacho as ass. Come on.
Is he? Is he?
I don't think he is.
Or is he just playing for a terrible team?
I don't think he's a bad player. Like,
I don't
really,
think Garnacho's a bad player at all.
No.
Is Garnacho a bad player or is he just playing for a terrible team? Remember,
Yeah.
Doku plays for the best team in the land. We've got to remember this. Garnacho plays for relegation fodder.
Plays with a terrible bunch of lads. Like, he's literally got Bruno Fernandes as a captain. Like, give him a break.
You know, like... There you go.
I swear Bruno Fernandes, like, maybe pays off all the Opta people to make up stats about him being the number one sprinter in the league and stuff.
It's very 50-50 in the chat. A lot of people are like Doku, a lot of people are Garnacho, a lot of people are Garnacho's overrated, Doku's overrated. So everyone's a bit 50-50 in the live chat. And I get that. Here's another one. I'm going to give everyone in the chat right now. Let's keep doing this, yeah? Julian Alvarez or Darwin Núñez? Julian Alvarez or Darwin Núñez?
Don't massively rate Julian Alvarez.
No.
Yeah, I'm doing dirty things tonight.
Misses a lot of chances.
I know what you're going to do, Jamie. You're going to bring up Alvarez and Núñez's GA, and Alvarez has got one more GA than Núñez.
Doesn't Alvarez take penalties as well? I think Alvarez takes penalties when Haaland's
taking
not
Julian
on the pitch.
Alvarez.
Right. Everyone who's saying Alvarez.
Yeah, Alvarez.
Everyone's saying Alvarez. Why Alvarez? I need to know why. No, Alvarez, I need to know why. I need to know why Alvarez, who's been dog shit this season.
Yeah, because
absolute dog turd, yeah. Absolute dog turd as a footballer this season. Couldn't step up when Haaland was out injured.
Oh, I'd be dog turd as well as Petter's playing me in midfield.
He played left wing and shadow striker. He played these positions.
I think he got 15 goals this season, mate.
Been dog shit, man.
Yeah, because Pet's been playing midfield. Pet's been pet rouletting with him.
He didn't really play 16 million. That's a good point.
He played behind Haaland. He always played 4-4-2.
He's not a 10, he's a number 9.
No, he actually played 4-4-2. If everyone goes and watch Man City play, when Alvarez and Haaland played together, they played 2 up top.
He is a number 9.
He's just the one who dropped a little bit deeper than Haaland.
I'm really looking at his numbers, man. I'm sorry.
When you play 2 up top,
32 goal involvements this season.
When you play 2 up top, one always drops
32.
a little bit deeper.
Got 32 goal involvements in all comps.
Bloody hell, that's not bad, is it?
What did Darwin
One
get?
behind
50?
Darwin Núñez.
He's
But I
only
reckon
24.
Alvarez has played a lot less minutes.
I'm just
Got 11 goals, same as Núñez. 9 assists.
How
11
many
goals,
minutes?
9 assists. He
and
played.
Darwin played a lot of games left wing, the same as Alvarez. Alvarez played in a top 2 with Haaland, with that midfield behind him. I just think
Played
again,
36. Played 36 games, by the way,
yeah.
this season.
Oh,
I mean, he played 31 games last season and got 9 goals.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
just-
he's not
I don't
prolific.
think there's a
That's
lot.
good point.
I don't think there's a lot in it. I really don't.
That's a really good point, Jamie. He's only got 20 goals in 67 games.
I really don't think it's.
Yeah, he's a bit
I don't
arse.
think it's a
Who wrote
mad
that
of a
in the
comment.
chat? He's a bit arse.
I don't think it's a mad as a comment. I really don't.
Where'd you
You
pull
know,
that one from? That's a great one, that, mate.
if you played Alvarez as your main striker all season, would he guarantee you goals? This is what I'm trying to get to, guys,
Good
on this
point.
show today.
No,
He had
why
98
played-
shots, by the way. By the way, he had 98 shots.
If you played Alvarez all season as your main striker, would he guarantee you goals? It's all I'm asking. It's all I'm asking.
what
Would he
sticking up
guarantee you
front?
goals? Would he guarantee you goals?
He's got more
played as a
Núñez.
main striker all season.
Well, if he's my number 9,
He's your out and
Yeah.
out number 9. He's an
Yeah,
out and out. And by the way, everyone in the chat, you must remember, I don't rate Darwin like this. I'm not backing Darwin here. I don't rate him like that. So what I'm trying to put out is this aesthetically pleasing thing of certain teams. He plays for Manchester City, the best team in the land.
You know what, man? His numbers are really similar. Like 98 shots, 40 on target.
What
Núñez
does
had
what,
107, 46 on target.
Yeah,
like
what-
those numbers are
what-
so similar. Where'd you pull that one from?
this is what
That's
I'm trying to say,
amazing.
man. I just watch football. I watch
And they're
football
both
with my
24.
eyes. I watch football with these things God made us with, yeah? These
One was
things,
16
guys, yeah?
million, though. One was
This is how I
85.
watch football. I didn't used to, when I was growing up as a kid, I didn't look in the mirror, the Daily Mirror, to go, I need the stats on John Barnes today. No, I watched him when I was a kid score hat tricks from left wing in a 4-4-2 constantly. You know, I've got these. You know, it's just, we live in this aesthetic world right now
Why is
where
there no comparison? Like, I've literally
no
just
one
said
spoke about it.
that
I
they are
think
so
I'm the only
similar.
one. I think I'm the only one who spoke about it. The reason no one talks about it is because Alvarez cost 14 million. That is why no one talks about it, because he cost 14 million. And I know everyone's going to say he was good at the World Cup, yeah, and he was. Go and watch Uruguay. Darwin for Uruguay. He's just as good. He's just as good in international as Alvarez is in international. He's like, no one talks about certain things because there's no subject to talk about. No one talks about Grealish being the most overrated £100 million player in the history of football. You know, no one, because he was winning trophies. Everyone's talking about this season because he hasn't been playing. He's been injured and he's always drunk. Yeah. So no one talks about him. But a waste of time. Yeah, I've
got nothing to say. I got
I
nothing to say. I got
And I
nothing to
think,
say.
guys, and you know my thing on Darwin. I think Darwin's not good. You know, I've cussed Darwin out for only getting 11 Premier League goals, not being good enough, playing left wing, playing right wing, playing centre forward. We talk about Alvarez playing as a just behind Haaland at times, or on the right or left wing. So does Darwin. No one brings that up when we compare. And I'm not even backing Darwin in this race, guys. I'm really not. I'd rather have neither of them. There you go. That's me saying it right now. Rather have neither of them. Rather have Haaland. And that's it. You know what I mean? That I'd rather have neither of them. But yeah, I just, as a footballer, as an out-and-out footballer, Alvarez is probably a better player. He's got a better first touch. No doubt about that. But right, you can only have two of them on the left wing for a whole season. Who'd be more devastating, Darwin or Alvarez?
Why make my head hurt like this, right?
I'm telling you, because no one thinks about these comparisons when
Has
everyone's
Alvarez,
comparing.
has
No
Alvarez
one's
played left
compared
wing though, or
Alvarez
is he
all
right?
season, by the way. No one's compared Alvarez all season. Let's
is
compare
Alvarez
Alvarez
right?
to Jota in. Everyone keeps on about minutes a game, yeah? Let's compare Jota to the rest of the Premier League then. Jota's number one, by the way. I don't know if
Yeah,
no one
100%.
knows this, but if you
100%.
compare Jota to every striker in the Premier League for minutes per goal with no penalties included, Jota's actually number one in the Premier League, even ahead of Haaland. That's how good Jota is.
It's a good point. Like Núñez has got more pace. Like I'd like to have seen Núñez play left a bit more. I don't know. It's an interesting one. They're both fast, really, aren't they? Looking at the numbers.
Did you not think Alvarez had a bad season this year?
I didn't really notice him. I didn't
Did
know he
anyone
played
notice
that much.
Alvarez this season?
I didn't know he played 36 times, mate, until I just seen it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, sorry I'm going to have to love and leave you. I need to go
Yeah,
back.
big up, Luke.
So, pleasure, everyone. Speak to you tomorrow, mate.
Hello, man. See you soon, Luke.
Yeah.
Chat later, man. Yeah, how would Darwin do in the City team? I reckon Darwin would score 20 Premier League goals playing for Manchester City. Do you know why? He wouldn't be asked to link up the play.
Yeah, if he was just out doing Haaland's job, then he'd probably score more goals. They'd probably just bounce off him and go in.
No, big up Mac LFC. It's like, this is what I'm saying. No one mentions, like, we all get on top of players, and there's players out there I just don't think are that great. I think Alvarez is a good footballer. You know, I think he is a good footballer. I think he gets away with no one chatting about him, like, ever. Like, no one chats about him.
No. He just goes under the radar, doesn't he? Well, he went under the radar with me.
Yeah. And, like, misses chances as well. I know everyone talks about missed chances, yeah. Everyone misses chances. You know, how many strikers are actually clinical? Not many. How many strikers are actually clinical in the Premier League right now? Like, if you go on strikers in the Premier League, how many are actually clinical?
I mean, the numbers for clinical strikers probably sit up with the likes of Jota's probably clinical.
There's two.
Chan?
I would say the most clinical strikers are...
Haaland's not clinical.
No, Haaland's not clinical. The most... I would say Isak is probably...
Isak is, yeah. Isak.
I'd say Isak is arguably the most clinical forward in the Premier League.
Yeah.
What you got to go by chances given, guys. Haaland gets a shitload of chances, yeah, and misses a lot, but scores a lot at the same time. It's the same with Mo Salah, guys.
So does Ollie Watkins, by the way.
Yeah, Mo Salah might get 1,000 chances a season, you know, and he scores 40. You know, Salah's not clinical. He just has a lot of chances to score goals, like Haaland does. Haaland has more chances than anyone a game, and I think Isak's the most clinical forward. I think Jota's up there being clinical as well.
Yeah.
But it's not. But what I'm trying to say this by, everyone says we need a clinical forward, K-Mac, and what I'm trying to get by this is that who's actually clinical? Like, we're just trying to wrap around our brains.
I think Tony's quite clinical. Tony's quite clinical.
Like, we're trying to wrap around our brains about.
Fanny Chan's quite clinical as well. It's how many chances you'll get in a game. You know, to a certain extent. I mean, is Solanke clinical? Like, you know, he scored a lot of goals. Do they get a lot of chances? It's interesting. You wouldn't think Jota was. You wouldn't think Jota was clinical, but he actually is. Like,
yeah, go to his minutes per play for games. TW. Jota's the most clinical forward in the Premier League. If you look at minutes played for goals he's got, he's actually the most clinical forward in the Premier League. Non-penalty goals as well. And by the way, guys, when I was comparing Alvarez to Núñez, this is what people... I don't even rate Darwin. So when people are coming at me like, oh, Jamie, Darwin's not like special. I know Darwin's not that special. That's why I'm comparing him to Alvarez, because no one talks about Alvarez. I've not heard of a single person talk about Alvarez this season. But everyone was rating him at the World Cup, and everyone was rating him when Man City bought him. I remember my chat, especially, were going, "Why couldn't we buy a forward like Alvarez? How come City have got a forward like Alvarez? Where's everyone rating him this season? Where's everyone gone? Why are you guys not rating him?" Yeah, I don't. Talking about not rated, can we put the Kevin De Bruyne and Steven Gerrard thing never in the same sentence ever again?
Oh,
Because
please,
Steven
never.
Gerrard never got pulled off in major finals.
God.
So yeah, can we get this Gerrard De Bruyne thing gone from existence? De Bruyne is not Gerrard level. I'm just going to put it there.
No.
De Bruyne is not Gerrard level, and he's fallen off a cliff. Fallen off a cliff. He's put on too much weight as well. He looks heavy.
He likes his concerts, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks heavy.
Likes his Ed Sheeran concerts.
Yeah, the man looks heavy. He looks heavy-legged. He looks like he's put on weight. He needs to get more athletic.
Or he goes to Saudi and keeps the weight.
Yeah. Alvarez in the same boat as Gakpo, but just not given the love he needs. That's fine.
I mean, he played a lot last season as well. Only got 9 goals. Like, he played up front last season as well because Haaland was injured. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't. Everyone is worried about players buying came out. Everyone's worried about the players we're going to buy. Are you worried about the players we're going to buy this summer? Because a lot of people are. They're worried about Richard Hughes being the Bournemouth sporting director. People are worried. I had questions here as well. We'll get to as well from honesty. He says, "Oh, not that one. We'll get to that one in a minute." Is there a question? What if he gets on a player that he doesn't want? Now, I think what we got to remember about what the role of head coach is and what. So he will have some say on particular player. What he will do, he will tell them he's profile footballer. Right, I want an athletic winger who's good on right and left foot. Right, they will say that, right? And then they will go and look for that kind of profile footballer. So they will look for a profile footballer that's a winger, that's athletic, that's good on right and left foot. Am I right? And they came out. It's basically the role.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, to a certain extent, that's what's happened with Arne Slot for his whole career. Like, he's had people picking the players and putting them into his team. Look, the thing about the Richard Hughes thing that people might be concerned about, what you have to realise is that Richard Hughes wanted Alisson and Salah, but he just couldn't get them to Bournemouth. Like, he identified these players, so he identifies amazing talents, but he just couldn't sign them because he was Bournemouth. Like, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But now he's going to a club where he will be able to sign them, and I'm not worried because it's not going to be a case of we're going to go 5 years without signing a midfielder when we all know we need a midfielder. Like, it's going to be a case of we need these positions right away. Like, we know for a fact they want 2 central defenders, which means that Matip's gone, so we're going to replace one of the defenders, which makes perfect sense. And it also means that probably Gomez is going to go. So there's your 2 defenders. And if they're looking at a left-sided defender or even a left-back, then there's a chance that Shimikas might go or Andy Robinson might go. So they're filling spots that need filling now, straight away, instead of waiting till it's too late, because we always had a habit of only fixing the things that were broken after they broke, and then we do it a year later and it'd be too late because we missed out on the league or we missed out on a cup, or we just weren't there when we needed to be. And we've always been 1 or 2 players away every single season from being the best we could be, and that's going to be the difference.
Yeah, it is. And
we're going to play more kids. Like, we are going to give our youngsters a chance. Like, and you'll see them play more games, but they'll play the games that are like, the cup games and the pointless game, those kind of games. We're not going to be playing our best squads in all of the games. It's not going to happen.
And I got other questions.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, be able to chat. Alan says a coach should have say in transfers. He will have. Look, I think the whole. I've seen it on other people's channels as well, and I've been watching them, and it winds me up. And they're basically saying like, so 10. I was about to say, Arne Slot is not the manager. Like, so
I hope we never say that.
no, he's not the manager. Who's our actual manager? Also, Edwards is our manager, and Arne Slot's a yes man, is he? Like, that's what we got now. That's like, what's this shit? And that's not actually the case. As I said, Arne Slot will give his profile a player that he wants. As I said, if he's after a winger, athletic, right and left footed, they will look in the profile for that kind of footballer, and they will get him that kind of footballer. The difference is he's not going to them, I want so and so, and they go and get so and so. That's the difference. But if he goes to him, right, what sort of forward do you want? I want a forward that can hold up the ball and link the play and can play that false nine role. And I'm not worried about goal scoring so much because I'm going to get it from other positions. They will go and look for that kind of forward for him. But they won't. But what he's not going to say is that I want so-and-so player for them to go and get so-and-so player. That's the difference. That's why it's called a head coach instead of a manager, because the manager will go, I want Sadio Mane. That's who I want. Don't sign anyone else. I want Sadio Mane. We've been looking at him, go and get him from Southampton, and then they go and get him from Southampton and do the job. That's the difference, and it came out. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Ali thing. Like, Ali was at Roma when Richard Hughes wanted him at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
They were in the Premier League. Bournemouth were in the Premier League at the time.
Yeah, and a lot like Richard Hughes was looking at Alisson before anyone knew who Alisson was as well.
Yeah,
you know, we have Alisson now as the best in the world, but you know, before that Roma game, Liverpool playing Roma, no one really knew who Alisson was. You know what I'm saying? To be fair,
how many did we smash past him?
Did anyone actually want Alisson after that Roma game? You know, it's like
we put 5 past him.
It weren't. I don't remember everyone coming out and going, "Shit, that Alisson in goal's pretty good. We should be going after him." I don't remember anyone ever saying that. So, in fact, I remember when we went in for Alisson, everyone said a world record on Alisson. So I remember everyone saying, only the former Arsenal goalkeeper's number 2, not a long back.
Chesney was number 1.
Yeah, it was Chesney's number 2 a couple of years. But like, what are we doing here? Best goalkeeper in the world.
Interesting.
So you know, it's a madness to me.
We all let humble pie.
Yeah. Craig says I actually rather the system of recruitment than one person choosing. Yeah, look, I ask everyone in the chat right now. Yeah, do you think our recruitment after the last 2 years have been good? Everyone in the chat, there's 230 people here. Big up to everyone. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribing, sharing, subscribing to K-Mac's channel as well. I'll ask everyone here right now, has our recruitment the last 2 years been good? Yes or no? Just put yes or no in the chat. Has our recruitment been good in the last 2 years? Yes or no? That's all I need to know. Because this year, you know, last few years, Klopp has been in charge. He pretty much said that. And this is the other thing I want to talk about today. So, don't know about you, K-Mac, but I take a man by his word, because that's how I was brought up. Yeah, I take a man by his word. I don't try and read around it or politicize it or anything like this, right? So when Jurgen Klopp comes out and says, "Did FSG back me?" Yes, I felt backed. Should be the end of the conversation.
It should
be.
be.
Should be the end of the conversation. Of course, he said, were there times where I could have spent more money and would have liked to spend more money? Yes. Who wouldn't like to spend more money, guys? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you're living with your means. Also, he said we have to live in with our means. Also, we have to live by the laws of the game. He pretty much threw a spanner at Newcastle, Man City, and Chelsea by saying that. You know, he took a dig. He's taken digs at them before with the wealth they have. But he felt backed. And I'm not sticking up for FSG. I'm just listening to the words the man says. I'm not here to go, oh, he didn't mean it like that. not saying it like he means it. Like obviously, everyone wants more money, man. Everyone wants more money. There's not a person on the planet right now who wouldn't want more money. Yeah, but he said he felt like he was backed and it weren't a problem. You know, just
I love that comment. People that honestly, if he had more money, he would have signed Bellingham, Haaland. He could have signed Haaland. He didn't want him. He wanted Minamino. We know that. He could have had Haaland from RB Leipzig, from RB Salzburg.
it's just.
Oh my God, hilarious!
It
makes me laugh.
You know, right? Let me just get this one out of the way.
We're also building training grounds and stadiums and all sorts. By the way,
yeah, let me get this one Tony's put in with Gravadol. Do you know Liverpool were after him?
We could have had Gravadol before he went to Leipzig.
Liverpool wanted, Jurgen Klopp wanted Colwill more, yeah.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp actually wanted Colwill. That's why you saw numerous reports every day about Liverpool and Colwill. Klopp wanted Colwill badly. He wanted him badly until it was made apparent that he couldn't buy him. And Jude Bellingham, I agree with.
The committee
Haaland thing
said Haaland was available before he went to Dortmund.
We went and bought. Everyone does realise we didn't. Haaland was there at the time. We didn't buy him. He went to Borussia Dortmund.
I think he scored like 2 goals against us as well, didn't he? We still didn't sign
him. We could have bought Haaland before Borussia Dortmund. Yeah. It's not like Haaland went from Leipzig to City at the time. He went to Borussia Dortmund.
Went to Dortmund.
So the fact that Liverpool chose not to sign him is just, guys, we couldn't sign Haaland from Salzburg at the time, but we could sign Darwin Núñez from Benfica. Just let that sink in. Just let that sink in. And do you know who wanted Darwin Núñez? Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp was a Darwin Núñez transfer. He wanted Darwin Núñez. We couldn't afford Haaland at the time when he was at Salzburg, but apparently we could afford the time when we bought Darwin Núñez. He was a kid then, says Tone.
But
everyone knew how good of a goal scorer he was.
Goals for Dortmund when he was a kid.
Everyone knew how good of a goal scorer he was. You know what I mean? It's just, the only one I agree with you, Tony, is the Bellingham one, and I'm not going to disagree with you that. I'm not going to disagree with you. The thing with Bellingham, the difficulty on the Bellingham transfer. Does anyone actually believe Borussia Dortmund would have sold Bellingham and Haaland in the same summer? Actually, I don't need to ask that question because they didn't. Yeah, even Real Madrid couldn't get him that season. Then they went the season after. Do people actually think Real Madrid only came in the last minute to take Bellingham off everyone's hands and not been talking to him for months? Does anyone actually believe that Real Madrid weren't talking to Bellingham for months and already had the transfer done and sealed, and just came in the last 5 minutes? Went, you know what? If no one else is going to have him, we'll have him.
Real Madrid have ever done that? How long have they been waiting for Mbappe?
It's madness to me. It's just madness to me.
They've been talking to Trent for about 2 years.
Haaland had big hidden fees. What, when he went to Borussia Dortmund, or when he went to Dortmund for Man City?
He went to Dortmund for like 20 million, wasn't it?
He didn't have no hidden fees when he went to Dortmund. Otherwise, Dortmund wouldn't have been able to afford to do him. This is Borussia Dortmund, who can't compete financially with Bayern Munich. So, look, would they have been...
Some signings they pulled off. Right? They pulled off Bellingham and Haaland that season, Dortmund. Wow. Mental signings those two.
It's just...
And went straight into the first team and just killed it.
I just the Bellingham thing.
I think Tuchel as well.
I'm not going to say Klopp promised him, because he probably was. Klopp was probably what promised him. Tuchel's got, he wants to make United job, doesn't he?
That wasn't under Tuchel that when he signed Bellingham and Haaland.
Can't remember.
I don't
know. No, it wasn't Tuchel.
It wasn't.
But no. Yeah, the only one I agree with is the Bellingham deal because I think he was promised Jude Bellingham. But yeah, mate, Real Madrid were talking to him for months. I wouldn't be surprised if Real Madrid were talking to Jude Bellingham and Borussia Dortmund the year that Haaland left. It wouldn't shock me.
There's a video as well of I remember seeing a video clip of I remember seeing a video clip of Haaland and Dominic Szoboszlai when they got us in the draw in the Champions League, and they were both like absolutely buzzing. And like you just watch that video and you go, yeah, you should sign both of those for Liverpool. Well, we got one in the end.
That's very distinguished, Jamie. The Haalands have a very clear plan over Erling's career and want the stepping stones of Dortmund for a big move. So you're telling me that Liverpool Football Club, all big, powerful Liverpool Football Club, couldn't have gone to the Haalands and gone, look, we want you at our football club. We're one of the biggest football clubs in the world. At that time, one of the biggest in the world football, without a shadow of a doubt. So you couldn't have told me that we could have gone, right, forget your stepping stones and where you want to go. We're the destination. We're Liverpool Football Club. If that's not the case, then Liverpool are not a big team anymore. If that's not the case, Liverpool are not a big team anymore. And we're nothing. We're Borussia Dortmund.
Wasn't that the year we were in the Champions League as well? Like, wasn't that a Champions League final year as well? Like the first year that we got Minamino. Like we went on and challenged and won a league with Minamino. So it would have been a great season for him.
Tony says anyway, that's not the point. When City went in for him, he was the hottest number 9 on the planet, and we couldn't afford him, so we settled for Núñez. Núñez costs more than Haaland. Isn't that facts?
We could have got Kane.
Szoboszlai cost more than Haaland. Gravenberch was 10 million cheaper than Haaland as a midfielder that we don't use. Gakpo was 40 million, 10 million cheaper than Haaland. I'm just...
quite insane, isn't it?
Was Darwin more expensive than Haaland, or is it just... Now, if we're adding wages onto it, that's cool. But Haaland's wages are 800 grand a week, right? So should Liverpool be paying Haaland 800 grand a week?
Is he on that much?
He's got a clause in his contract where he's on 800. If anyone thinks he's only on 200 or 300 or 400 grand a week, you're laughing.
I thought he was on 5.
Not on that.
So he's on similar wages to Salah now then.
Yeah, Salah's on the right. If you put Salah's bonuses on top of what he makes, then he's on. Yeah, he's on about 600 grand a week, Salah. If you go with bonuses on top. And I agree. Look, like Edward said, 30 million his dad, 30 million to his agent, 40 million to him. If you're this is why no one else went in for Haaland, guys, and only Manchester City. Who in the hell can afford that?
No one's paying
30 million to his dad for just being his dad, for just putting the spunk into his wife. He got 30 million, yeah? That is basically what he got, yeah? For just impregnating his wife and having Haaland, he got 30 million quid. That's all he did. It's just his dad. Yeah? He's not playing with him out in the field. It's just his dad. He got 30 mil. His agent got 30 mil.
Has he got any other sons?
He's
making cyborgs. They're giving him 30 million to make Man City more cyborgs in the future.
His agent got 30 million.
Who's his agent? Isn't his agent his dad? So his dad got 60 mil.
And 40 million went to Haaland as a signing on fee.
Wow.
A signing on fee. Plus a transfer fee of 50 million.
He's got a car which has got no roof. Like, I think it's like a Ferrari which hasn't got a roof. So if it rains, it just gets wet. That's how rich he is.
Yeah. That's just mad. Like, that's just It's just mad, and that's why no one afforded Haaland at the
Mental.
time. And this is why I'm saying we should have bought him when he was at Salzburg. When he was at Salzburg, and you could see there was a talent there, Liverpool should have gone in for him at Salzburg. You know, we're big Liverpool. We could have gone, look, we think you're the next superstar. We want you. We're going to give you this a week, this, and that. We're Liverpool Football Club. We want you. Yeah. It's when he went to Borussia Dortmund when his career really rocketed. When he went to Borussia Dortmund, everyone looked at him and went, Jesus. And that's when everything started to go into motion. At Salzburg, when there weren't as many eyes on him, you know, that's when Liverpool should have pounced. You know, that's when Liverpool should have pounced. But yeah, the thing of should have got him in the delivery room. Do you reckon Haaland's? I bet Haaland's dad's frozen his sperm. I'm telling you that right now. He's frozen his sperm, man. He wants that money keep coming. Yeah, he probably wanked Haaland off himself. He wants that money coming in, man. He wants that money coming in. You know, any other Haaland brothers, you know. Let's keep that money coming, man. Yeah, like, yeah, Haaland's quality, man. He's the best striker in the world, but he's shit in finals. That's all I'm gonna say. He doesn't turn up in the big finals.
Haaland's a fake Dolph Lundgren. Great.
He does. Haaland don't turn up in finals. I'm just gonna leave it there. And when I mean transfers earlier, guys,
I didn't realise Dolph Lundgren is in Aquaman 2, by the way.
I've refused to watch that film because of the.
I mean, seriously, like credits came up at the end. I was like, Dolph Lundgren's in that. Wow, I didn't see him. He's like one of the main actors in it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm with you, man.
I think the last movie I've seen him in was Expendables.
Better than... I've not turned heel, guys. I've not turned a bad guy. I get fed up, guys. I really do. I just get fed up of everything and everyone lately. Of, you know, talking about this and that, and I see Liverpool fans talking like they hate Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? And I look at it and think, what are we doing here? Do you not support this football club? You don't support this football club. Fuck off. You know, I get too many. I see it too much now, and people are like, well, if we don't get this and that, it's fucking over. I'm slot out. Edwards out. This out. This out. It's like, can we let things breathe? These people are the sort of people. Do you know what these people are? You know what these people are, okay, mate? They're the sort of people that open a bottle of red wine and pour it straight away. They won't let it breathe. Do you know what I mean? Cork it, right? Pour it. They put it in the fridge. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's what we're dealing with right now. Mate, you know, they don't let anything breathe. They don't let anything play out.
These are people that are eating hamburgers with knives and forks.
Yeah, anyone who eats hamburger with a knife and fork, you need to slap with the back of your hand. Ain't lying. But no one lets anything breathe now. No one lets anything breathe. Everyone straight away, they'll make video. I'm going to guarantee you what's going to happen, right? Liverpool's transfer window this summer will not hit people's expectations. It won't hit people's expectations. So there'll be channels out there do Liverpool. This is shit. This is exactly why I didn't want Klopp to leave. This is all terrible. This is why I didn't want a sporting director and all this stuff. This is Edwards couldn't be trusted. Let it breathe, man. Let's let things breathe. Let's let things bed in and see what happens. Yeah, people go on about how would the Liverpool fan base acted if Liverpool went and bought Nathan Ake from Bournemouth when they got relegated? How would the Liverpool fan base acted?
Didn't we buy Ginny from Newcastle?
We did, and how did the Liverpool fan base act when we bought Ginny?
They didn't react well.
No, exactly.
They didn't react well.
How would the Liverpool fan base reacted if we bought John Stones, who before he went to Everton played for Barnsley?
Yeah,
he played for Barnsley, guys. Everton bought him from Barnsley, and then City paid 50 million for him.
He wasn't great at Everton, I remember.
Liverpool fan base would have gone, hang on, John Stones has played for Barnsley and Everton, and we're paying 50 million for him.
I don't remember him being brilliant for Everton either, you know. I remember him getting caught quite a lot doing those Cruyff turns.
it's just.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like people
That's
don't
a
let
good point,
things
actually.
breathe.
Robbo was bought from a relegated Hull. Good point. That.
Yeah, people don't let things breathe. Things just need to breathe a little bit. You know, let's see how things bed in. Let's see how they perform under Slot. You know,
Yeah.
I was always backing Wataru Endo. I backed Wataru Endo. I remember when we did the video when we were live at the time when it came up that Endo was coming to Liverpool. And we were like, who?
Yeah, it was like a live signing.
We're like, what the? We don't. Who's
Who?
this? You know, and I backed him because I was like, I've got to back the guy.
Yeah.
Let's see how good he is. And Endo had a pretty good season at Liverpool. Yeah,
He
he
just
wasn't
got
great
tired.
in every game and things like that, but he did all
got
right.
tired,
He did a role. He did a job. Was he perfect? No. Could you get better? Yeah, but you know, we killed the cat as soon as he entered the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is what we do too much of sometimes. And look, I'm just willing to give things a little bit of time and to breathe. Do you know what I'm saying? And see how they fit. You know, could you imagine back in the 80s if Twitter was around and we bought John Aldridge from Oxford? Can you imagine if Twitter was
Kevin
around
Keegan
in the 80s?
for like 10 grand?
Yeah, we just let Ian Rush leave for Juventus. So our best out-and-out striker at our football club, Ian Rush, we have just let go to Juventus in a summer transfer deal, right? So he's gone to Juventus. And we replaced him with a striker that actually looks like him from Oxford United, right? If Twitter was around in the 80s, they would go absolutely balmy. Twitter in the 80s were going, oh my God, the best striker this football club has ever had. He's gone and we're pricing him with his clone at Oxford United. Oh, this is disastrous. This is terrible. No one lets anything breathe, man. No, and then Aldo scored over 100 Liverpool goals in 18 months.
Yeah, it was mental.
And then Kenny wanted to bring Rush back, so Aldo had to go. But it was...
we got good money for him.
Yeah, it's just... things. Just let things breathe. And I'm not talking about, look, I'm sure someone's going to put in the comments, oh, so you're all right if we buy this and that player.
What about like legendary manager Shankly leaving and we replaced him with the physio?
Yeah, but
who didn't really have a role in the team. Like he didn't really have a role at the club.
Paisley didn't want him. Paisley was assistant manager, wasn't he? I mean, Paisley didn't even want the job.
No,
you know, Bob Paisley did not want the Liverpool job, but he was just a bit of a like.
That's what I mean. Sometimes,
and then he was Liverpool's most successful manager.
Yeah,
I think we just got to leave. I think we got to just leave. Let things breathe a little bit. Look, people go, oh, Jamie, so you're all right with so and so coming to the club. I was like, no. And like TW says, Aldo's numbers for Oxford are insane. They were. I agree. But this is where I'm talking about the Somerville thing. So Somerville's numbers are pretty good. Somerville's numbers were pretty good at Leeds this season from the Championship. But no one wants him because he comes from the Championship. This is what I'm trying to say. Look, do I think Somerville's a good enough player for Liverpool? No, not right now. Would I be interested in buying him and then have him as a project player for the next couple of years, where in 2 years' time, he might turn out to be an amazing footballer? Yeah, but at the same time, you've got to buy experience and ready-to-go players at the same time. There's nothing wrong with buying a mixture, guys, in the transfer market. Like, you get your project player in who you believe's going to be good in a few years' time, but you get him in early before anyone else gets him. But you also, at the same time, get your ready-made players in that are ready to rock and roll now. You get them in, and that's a good mixture, ain't it, came out? There's nothing wrong with that. But project, then you've got an issue, ain't you?
He's 22 going on 23, and someone just wrote, I can't trust a man who wears gloves in the summer. He did wear gloves today, which is odd.
Yeah, that's madness, ain't it? That's madness.
Yeah, I just, he's not going to be cheap. Leeds don't sell for cheap. Like, I just don't think he'll be cheap. I think he'll be like 30 million. I wouldn't spend 30 million on a guy that's had
I wouldn't be surprised.
And he's 22.
I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool got Somerville. It wouldn't shock me. I think Liverpool have been looking at Somerville even before
Oh yeah,
Edwards and all that came back anyway.
yeah, I think
Because
so.
you've got to remember that Fellows, Hunter, and all that are still at the club and looking at these players anyway.
Yeah.
So I think Liverpool were looking at someone like a Somerville before Edwards and Richard Hughes and all that joined the football club again. So it wouldn't shock me if Liverpool were in for him. The thing is that for Leeds not getting promoted gives every buyer a bit more room for movability in the transfer deal, because Leeds are going to have to sell. And because Leeds are going to have to sell, buying teams are going to get him a lot cheaper than originally planned. If you can get Somerville for 30 million, do you know what's difficult?
If Leeds have to sell, if Leeds have to sell, then it'll be Archie Gray that we'll get.
The rumor is Leeds have got to make 100 million this summer.
It'll be Archie Gray that we get.
Archie Gray's a talent, man.
If we pay like 30, 40 million for him, then I think we will, because I think Archie Gray's the one. Like, and he plays in a number of positions. Like, I don't know why. I just don't think the attack is the issue. Like, I just don't think buying attackers is something we need to do. We need a DM and we need another defender. Like, and I genuinely believe we need a left back. Like,
I'm going to talk about this DM right now, but with the forwards,
what if Robbo's not good enough for me? Like,
I would be happy keeping Diaz and buying Somerville. I'm not on about replacing Diaz with Somerville. I'm on about just bringing Somerville in and keeping everyone else. I'd be pretty happy with that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be pretty happy with that.
We need a DM, mate.
But the DM position, this is what I was going to talk about. Right, the defensive midfield position. If you actually look at what a DM, so what does everyone class as a DM? Because people class Declan Rice as a DM when he's not a DM, right? People can't Kante as a DM when he weren't a DM. What do everyone class as a defensive midfielder? A defensive midfielder is basically
the guy that plays deeper in midfield. A
defensive midfielder is a midfielder that isn't quite good enough to be an 8 because they're not good enough on the ball, and they're not quite good enough to be a central midfield, a centre back, but they can defend. That's what a DM is, yeah. So you look at someone like a Polini at Fulham; he's an out-and-out DM, right? He's good at reading the game, defensive positioning, tackling, and being aggressive. On the ball, his pants, yeah. That's what a DM is, yeah. Declan Rice is not a DM. Declan Rice is a box-to-box midfielder, but he's very good at tackling. He's very good at reading the game. He's very good defensively. A bit like Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard could do them sort of. You could play Steven Gerrard in a 6 all season, yeah, and he would look like a DM, but he's not really a DM. So what DMs are actually out there that are actual DMs, K-Mac? Because if you think about it like that, the actual DMs out there ain't a great lot of them, really.
No, so obviously Ederson's the name that keeps on popping up, and rightly so. Looks like a terrific player. He's got 7 goals as well, by the way, this season, so he scored goals. Fofana's name's come up again. Adam Wharton looks a terrific player. Really good DM. Manu Kone, we were looking at him last year, another DM. Boubacar Kamara, I really rate Boubacar Kamara. He's the reason why Villa fell off at the end of the season, by the way.
Because
he got injured.
I know everyone goes on about Louis. What's his name? What's the villain?
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas Luiz is not a DM.
It's Boubacar Kamara.
It's Boubacar Kamara
doing the job.
Douglas Luiz is a bit like your Declan Rice. He can defend, he can tackle, he can read the game, but he can also defend in the final third of the opposition's box, and also create and score and pass. Do you know what I mean? He's an all-action midfielder, where Kamara's the DM.
Ugarte is a name that's coming up as well, 100%.
Ugarte.
He is a real traditional DM. He
Bruno
just wants to tackle, win the ball, pass it on. Bruno Guimaraes, definitely. He's destined for a top club. He just is, right? 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up at City if if what's her name gets that ban, Bajcetic gets that ban.
Oh,
Then
Paqueta might get. I heard he might get a 10-year ban.
it's insane. Like he was literally betting on his own yellow cards.
Yeah,
Like,
he was,
that's nuts.
so if I
That's
remember rightly,
premeditated.
correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Ivan Toney was doing that, was he?
No, he was just betting loads of games.
He was betting loads, and
constantly.
he was betting on Brentford, but he weren't. He was never betting on himself to get
No.
bookings and stuff like that,
That's
was he?
nuts.
So this is worse. This is worse. Can you imagine going to your mate and going, "Look, put 10 grand on me. I'm going to get a yellow card today." That's basically what he's doing.
I mean,
Basically what he's doing.
you know, he's perfect for City. It's full of cheats.
It's
crazy.
He's going to get a massive ban. I'll be surprised if we see him again. Be shocked if we see him again.
It's such a shame.
You know, Tonali got a year ban worldwide, and he didn't do. I don't think as bad as Paqueta's done.
He got an extra 3 months on top of that as well.
Yeah, weren't he just doing blackjack?
Yeah, he was just
But
and where he was betting was legal.
Yeah,
sorry. So he was betting in the UK, but he was doing it on a VPN.
Yeah, and in Italy as well.
In Italy, it's illegal.
Isn't Italy? It's against the law to play gamble online
against
or something like that. I'm not sure. It's something.
It wasn't against the law in the UK, but it's against the law in Italy. And he was doing it when they signed him as well. And he only got caught because his mate got caught, and then he grassed on everyone that was in the group. Because it was the guy at Juventus that got caught, and he was in a group with a couple of others, and he basically said, "We're all doing it."
It's mad, ain't it? It's mad. But look, to go back to the 6th position,
I say it's a lot worse. By the way, I say there's a lot more players that are doing it. By the way.
Oh yeah. Look, footballers earn so much money, and they work 4 hours a day, if that.
Yeah.
And then they're stuck at home because they can't go out. You know, you got all that money. Just think as a footballer, top flight footballer, you got all that money, but you literally can't leave the house because you go nowhere because all the selfies and the autographs and people are harassing you. Can't go anywhere. So you're stuck indoors, aren't you?
When you just give money away downtown.
You're stuck indoors. So I don't blame it happening. But this number 6 deal, are we going to get someone who's an out-and-out DM, or do you feel like Liverpool might be looking at someone like your Declan Rice kind of footballer that can do that job, but he's not really a DM?
Yeah, I think we're looking at someone that can complement McAllister and free McAllister up more, so he doesn't have to do as much tackling, and also stop the passing lanes. Because I don't think we've been great at doing that. We've really missed Fab and Hendo, and I will say it, we have missed Hendo because Hendo is so good at stopping the passing lanes.
At his peak,
don't even write Bajcetic. Like Bajcetic, I'm not even classing as a player for us yet because he just hasn't played. He needs a loan.
The thing is, though, K-Mac, I think that's who the club are looking at. I'm going to say it now. I don't think we buy DM.
I just think it's crazy that we.
I don't even think we're going to buy a midfielder this summer at all.
That's just nuts.
I think we're going to buy a centre back, a full back, probably a left back, a centre back, and a striker or a winger. I think that's what we're going to buy. I don't think we're going to buy a midfielder at all. Thiago's left from that midfield position, which, you know, if we play a midfield three will probably be a choice between Endo, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Harvey Elliott, and Curtis Jones. Yeah, that's your midfield 3 choices there. I just don't. I hope I'm wrong.
I can honestly
I
see
hope
us.
I'm wrong.
And
Stefan Bajcetic
with a Fofana.
Yeah,
I can honestly see us with a Fofana popping up.
And Endo and
probably been on the committee's list for ages, but Klopp hasn't even contemplated him because he's staring him in the face. But I can honestly see us like getting a Fofana and maybe even the Yeni Loro on, like, you know, someone like that, or the Pancho one. Like, he looks really good, by the way. His numbers look really good.
I think that Yano. I did a video.
But you have to look at. But you also, mate, you have to look at Hughes. Hughes knows a lot in Italy. Like, he could go and get us an Edison and a Scalvini straight out of Atlanta. Like, had a brilliant seasons. Just go and get us those two. Like, there's your problem sorted for two
Cooper
positions.
Miners. There's a lot of rumours about Cooper Miners
No.
today.
I don't think Cooper Miners is it. Just don't.
Oh.
I really can't be listening to more Dutch players. Like, we've got enough. We're gonna end up with like half our squad being Dutch. Like, I don't want it to be, mate. I don't want it to be. Their attitude's too blasé. Like,
Or is their attitude that under the wrong manager?
or what they're smoking.
You know, could it be under the wrong manager? That's the thing, you know.
Maybe. Like,
Uh,
Scalvini. Poor.
I just don't-
Andre's a good one as well. Andre's been looked at. Hunter's been over in Brazil the last couple of weeks. Andre could be on the list. Like,
I just don't see us
that's
buying a
interesting.
midfielder.
He had a good season. He's had another good season, Andre.
I really just don't see us buying. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm wrong.
We need a DM.
I just don't see us
Need a
buying
DM,
one.
man.
I think they'll look at it and go, Stefan Bajcetic is the main
Like,
DM.
we were literally honestly, like, we were literally a Caicedo away from winning the league. Like, we had a Caicedo, we'd have won the league. Like, we needed that.
If we had Haaland, we'd have won the league.
Well,
and would anyone be saying that we needed a DM?
we had Harry Kane, we'd have won the league.
Exactly. Like, if we had a more clinical forward, we would have probably won the league, yeah? And I don't think there's any shout for a DM this season. Is it the way we play? You know, look how open we were constantly, right? Constantly. Trent inverting did not work, right? That just did not work, right?
No.
We actually was worse when Trent came back defensively. I know people don't like to hear this because everyone loves Trent. And I love Trent as well, but we were defensively worse as a team when Trent came back, right? I don't know if it was the whole. I just don't know if it was the whole because we didn't have a DM thing. I really don't. I'm not sure. I look at the way we structured, the way we played. No, Trent inverting means we got like 4 midfielders in the central areas, and we still keep conceding goals.
Yeah, but we didn't have anyone that could really control the game. Like, we didn't have a destroyer. Like, if we'd have had a Caicedo in there, Caicedo was swashbuckling. Like look, there's a reason why Chelsea went on to play to finish really well in the league, and it's because Caicedo picked up form and started to get a better relationship. It's just a fact. Like, and I just felt that Endo started slow because he did, and then he was missing for a month, and then he was injured, and then we got him back. But McAllister only was allowed to be a real McAllister for half a season. So can you imagine if we had a McAllister the whole of the season playing, not as a DM, but as a number 8, and then it also gives you the freedom to play Dominic Szoboszlai where he's not being a roadrunner because he's got a Caicedo who's got pure athleticism, like run all day long. Like, that's what he can do. Like, Endo can't do that. Endo flags, and Endo misses the ball a lot because he hasn't got the pace to get there. He's a 31-year-old, like, Japanese lad who's never played in the Premier League before. I just felt that Caicedo just would have been it. Bang, we'd have won a couple of cups. I'm telling you, mate.
Do you know Chelsea conceded 63 goals in the Premier League, but Caicedo played in every game almost.
Mate, I know Caicedo didn't start well, but Caicedo was chucked into their team as the player that was supposed to fix everything.
I think it's more of a structure thing. I really do think it's more of a structure thing. If Kwanzaa and Virgil and Konate are not asked to do one-on-one defending every game, we push him so high up and playing reckless football. Look at Arsenal. Arsenal had the best defence in the league, but look at the way they play. They defend deep when they've not got the ball. They
play 5 at the back most of the game.
They squeeze their midfield and their back line are very almost together. There's no room for the opposition. Like, no, look, Man City and Liverpool, they don't play like that. City only conceded 6 goals less than us this season, and they have the best DM in world football, who was unbeaten in 74 games this season, or whatever, going from last season to this season, not lost in 74 games, new record.
The crazy thing is,
Best
though,
DM in the world.
the crazy thing is, though, we scored a lot of goals and we conceded a lot of goals, but it was the fact that we went behind and then had to come back to win that kind of killed us. And if you've got a monster in midfield who just wants to win the ball constantly, just wants to smash people because he does, and also he's got a great relationship with the guy next to him that would have been McAllister because they've already played for a couple of years. I just felt that was a plug and play, mate, and I can see exactly why Liverpool board went for him. I can see exactly why Liverpool board went for him. Like, why we put that cheeky bid in? Like, it is what it is. Paulinho would have been brilliant as well. But I don't know whether Paulinho would have lasted the whole season because he gets booked every single game.
I literally don't think it matters, guys. I'm going to say that Rodri's the best DM in world football, and City only conceded 6 less goals than us.
Yeah,
City only conceded 6 less goals than us, guys, with the best DM in world football. Arsenal conceded less goals than Manchester City, but they've not got a DM anywhere to comparable to Rodri. So in Liverpool had Caicedo, they would have still conceded goals. The structure of the team's jank. We don't have a right back. We played 2 players in defence.
Oh no, I agree with that. But I'm just saying we would have had more solidity. We would have had. We would have had a player that could have got around more than Endo. Like, I just felt we would have, and we would have had 2 DMs, by the way, so you could have rotated. So if Endo was tired or Caicedo was tired, you could have brought the other guy on. What you were doing is you were swapping Endo around for McAllister, who's already playing.
I'll go with what Klopp said. I'll go with what Klopp said in that interview the other day before he left, when he said about the midfield, and he was talking about the midfield, and he was saying the way we played and the way we were good defence, because he was talking about how, the defensive structure of our team, and he was basically saying how good we used to be defensively is because the midfield that I had never scored goals. Henderson, Gini, and Fab, they never scored goals, but I didn't need them to score goals because they were my destroyers. They covered all the positions across the pitch. Like you said, Gini would go wide, Hendo would go wide, they'd go narrow, they'd cover Fabinho. Everyone was doing their defensive job. They weren't there to score goals. And then everyone wanted Liverpool to evolve and get midfielders that are more goal-scoring midfielders. And we can see chance after chance after chance after chance. I just feel like it's all to do with structure. And if you get the right people in structures, like Gini Wijnaldum, as we spoke about, went from an attacking midfielder and a wide player in his previous clubs and his international team to basically a defensive midfielder for Liverpool. We completely changed his game. Henderson was basically a defensive midfielder. We played with 3 DMs.
Yeah.
Liverpool back in the day played with 3 DMs. Yeah. And we kept clean sheets. People couldn't get past us. We defended better. And them 3 were far better in the midfield 3 we got today.
Mate, it's funny as well, though, because I've said this before. Like 2 of the best games I've seen us play this season. Well, one of them was against Tottenham. We were unbelievable for 4-0 up at 50 minutes. Absolutely destroyed them. And Aston Villa. And we played Trent as a right back the whole game. Right back. And we won. And Trent was really good at Arsenal away as well, by the way. Right back.
It's just that's what I'm saying. It's not just I think a lot of people think, we could kept the same structure and had a DM.
That's gone.
No, we'd still get killed because Szoboszlai would still be making runs. Trent would be inverting and not having no right back. McAllister to get bullied by being in a 3-on-1, and you'd have the same sort of issues. We might have less goals.
Do you remember the start of the season when you had Trent in the middle, you had Dom basically doing Trent's job, and then you got Salah playing like as a linesman for the
Yeah,
start of the season, and it
it-
was literally Dom keeping it all together, like just making it tick because
yeah.
he was everywhere, and we burnt him out. Like I felt really sorry for him. Like he got absolutely rinsed.
Well,
Like he played 130% of his normal season in the first third of the season. Dom did.
yeah,
Just absolutely burnt out.
yeah. Look, Szoboszlai dropped his load before Christmas.
Oh,
Let's
man,
face
he
it.
looked like a different person.
Yeah,
He
because
looked like a different human.
he
I
got
didn't
asked to do
recognise him.
he got asked to do a job that he's never done in his career,
Never done it.
and by the time November, December came, he was done. Like
He was
Szoboszlai's
cabbaged.
season was finished because he couldn't carry on no more. He had no energy left.
Cabbaged.
Yeah, it's just
He will. He'll cook next season. I tell you.
defensively as a midfield, we were far better under Hendo, Gini, and Fabinho. People might not like this because people don't like to hear it. Henderson is in Liverpool's best Premier League midfield under Jurgen Klopp. He just is. I know people keep
100%.
putting Thiago there for aesthetic reasons.
No.
Like, forget about it, guys. That midfield three is Liverpool's best midfield three under Jurgen Klopp. We're tactically better. Look at the Premier League and Champions League years. We're the best team in Europe defensively and going forward. You couldn't crack us. It was just a joy. And
Teams had lost before they even got on the pitch.
yeah,
us.
they're just
Those those were the seasons where Klopp was unbeaten for a whole year at Anfield. That's how good we were. Like he's done two of his seasons since when he was in charge of us, unbeaten at Anfield. Like the whole year, invincible at Anfield.
I just don't.
Mental. We were so good.
I think Liverpool really, really rate Stefan Bajcetic. I just think they look at him and rate him highly, and the guy look at him to be Liverpool's DM. They just are. I think there might be games where you play. Like Liverpool might be looking at something like Endo and Stefan and
played him against Spurs though, mate, and like he got rings run round him. He looks so so off
personally, I would loan Stefan out next
100%.
season and buy. So I'm not disagreeing with everyone buying a DM, by the way. I would buy a DM. I just don't know if Liverpool are going to. I would buy a DM, put him in that position and loan Stefan out next season.
Yeah.
Because I think Stefan needs a year of playing football. I think the fact that everyone thinks that Stefan's just going to come back next year and be this player, I'm not sure. There's no proof in it.
Like even when he came in, let's all be quite honest here. Like even when he came in, we were stinky. Like we were terrible. That team was awful. He came in and he was a shining light.
Yeah,
he looked good.
was dropped because of him. Yeah.
He looked good, but he had some poor games. But we were so in awe of like what because this new lad's come in and everyone thought he was the best thing since sliced bread, but he had some poor games. He did have some poor games. One of his best games he played as an 8, by the way. Just saying.
And this is the thing. I don't know if I don't think Stefan's an out-and-out number 6. I keep saying this. I think Stefan is more of your Declan Rice kind of midfielder, can do all of it, sort of midfielder. I don't think he's an out-and-out 6. Now, do Liverpool need an out-and-out 6? Or do they need someone who's good in that position that can play out as well and is good on the ball, like Liverpool looking for last year? I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure what Liverpool need there. I just don't know if they're going to get it because the way I'm looking at it right now, the rumours are Wataru Endo's staying. So Endo's staying.
Yeah, he's staying.
You've got Stefan staying, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, and possibly Tyler Morton. Right? It's 8 midfielders. 2 are going to have to leave before we buy one. So who's going to leave? Like, who's going to leave? They're not going to sell Gravenberch. They're not going to sell McAllister. They're not going to sell Szoboszlai. They're not going to sell Curtis Jones. They're not going to sell Harvey Elliott. I think Harvey Elliott's almost untouchable, personally. Yeah. And Endo's probably the only one. Look, Endo's probably the cannon fodder of that whole midfield. I would say Wataru Endo is the one who's probably likely, if they're going to let a midfielder go, it's going to be Wataru Endo, in my opinion.
I think it's probably Morton and
Morton might go on
and
loan.
Gravenberch. Morton and Gravenberch. Not sure where Gravenberch fits.
I don't think any of the new players will go this summer.
I'm not sure where Gravenberch fits.
I think Gravenberch fits nicely. So
I don't think he fits in the double pivot. I'm going to fit in a slot double pivot.
I also, with this Arne Slot thing, I don't think Arne Slot is going to play like he did at Feyenoord, by the way, guys. I just don't.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's got totally different players. Like, everyone's going, where will Salah fit in an Arne Slot system? Right wing. Because if Salah played for Feyenoord, he would play right wing. Because he could do something no other right winger at Feyenoord can. Arne Slot's not going to go, right, you're going to play left wing there because you're left footed. He's going to play him where he plays. I think the setup of our team is 4-3-3. He sort of plays 4-3-3 in a way, with sometimes playing 4-2-3-1. But if you look at the last few weeks and months of his career at Feyenoord, he went to 4-3-3.
It's interesting he finished on a formation we play.
Yeah, and I just feel like if that's the case, and he goes to keep the only player in that midfield is that the only one I think there's any kind of. I think Tyler Morton will go on loan.
He's only 21, I think. So
yeah. Or they might keep Tyler Morton for the squad, the British squad thing, the homegrown thing. So they might keep Tyler Morton around for that because we have got a homegrown issue. Curtis Jones will be homegrown this season. Harvey's not available to be homegrown yet. I think Tyler Morton classes as homegrown now this season. I can't remember. I think he might. So Tyler Morton might be kept for that. So if that's the reason,
McAllister's homegrown, isn't he?
I'm not sure,
But
I know, like Man City have just signed Scott Carson to a new contract, ain't they? The only reason they've done
Did you see that picture I sent you?
Yeah.
And 17 trophies.
And the only reason he's done it is because he's a homegrown player. They need to keep the homegrown quota. So I've got a feeling Tyler Morton, if he is available to be homegrown, McAllister's too old. I don't think he was at Brighton at that age. I don't think McAllister was at Brighton.
You've got to do 5 years in the UK, haven't you, to be homegrown?
Yeah, under 21.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, under 21. Yeah. Okay. He's been 5 years in the UK, but not under 20.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
So, McAllister's he's not. Yeah, I know some foreign players can't as homegrown because if they're under 21 for so long, they can't as homegrown, which is, because Robinson ain't homegrown. He's Scottish.
He'll never be.
He's not classed as homegrown. He's on the British Isles, but he's not classed as homegrown because he's Scottish. But you can have a player that is Spanish, like Stefan.
Yeah.
In a couple of years' time, will be homegrown, but he's Spanish.
Crazy.
But Robbo can't be because he's Scottish. It's mad, ain't it?
Makes sense.
But yeah, I feel if I look at that midfield right now, I think Endo is the only one who's going to leave. And if Endo's the only one who's going to leave, that's the only one you can bring in to replace. If they're not going to let Endo leave, they're not going to bring in another midfielder. There's no room.
I don't want us playing Mac as a DM.
There is no room for bringing in another midfielder. Szoboszlai is going to play more. McAllister's obviously going to play.
Mac plays
at 10. Will get minutes.
Dom will play at 10.
Harvey Elliott would definitely play minutes. There's no doubt about it. Curtis Jones will play minutes, and then
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing Dom play left hand side, left wing. That'd be good.
I just think Endo's the only one.
Left
Thiago's left promo, but it still leaves us too many midfielders. Like Endo, Stefan, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott.
That is one that interests me. Curtis Jones. That does interest me. If a bid came in for him, whether we take it. It does interest me that.
Curtis Jones.
I love Curtis Jones, but it's an interesting one for me.
Curtis Jones is interesting because I like Curtis Jones as well. But the way Harvey Elliott is finished the season,
I know
I don't know about everyone in chat. Let me know in the chat what
It's
you
the whole
think.
Gravenberch thing. If you didn't have Gravenberch, then I wouldn't be talking about Curtis Jones. But it's the fact that
I
we
literally
got
think
Gravenberch in.
I think Harvey Elliott at this moment in time is a better footballer than Curtis Jones, and he's a little younger. And I think Liverpool look at Harvey Elliott like he's got a real bright future at this football club. I don't know if they look at Curtis. I literally think if Liverpool were told you can only keep one of them, Curtis Jones or Harvey Elliott, they're keeping Harvey Elliott. In my opinion, they're letting Curtis go. I just
And if he does look at playing Trent in midfield, then that's another midfielder.
And like me and K-Mac stuck up for Curtis Jones all season, by the way.
All
Like
season.
we're the
I
two
thought we
that
were brilliant.
I actually thought he was part of our best midfield.
We were brilliant with Curtis Jones, but he got sent off unfortunately, and then injured, and it ruined his season.
It derailed his season, didn't
Totally
it?
derailed his season.
And
Story of Jones's life, innit? Story of Jones's life.
Yeah.
Injuries and mishaps. Right.
I love
He's
Curtis.
still only 23.
But
He's still only 23.
I'm not. I don't run the football club. I just feel like
we're also looking at Ramsey as well. You know, we're also looking at Ramsey. You know, Ramsey of Villa.
And I like Ramsey. He's a good player, but
we're also looking at him as well. It's like
these came out. Where do these midfielders fit?
I know all these players we're looking at. Like,
where do they fit? Because I
they
don't see us getting rid of.
They don't fit.
We've got to have a exodus of these like last summer when we got rid of all the midfielders. We're going to have to do it again this summer.
Yeah.
So who's going to leave? They're not. I don't think they're going. Like financially, there's no reason to let McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch go. It don't make sense. So they'll stay for another year. Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones are homegrown. They're not going to let them go. No. And Tyler Morton and Endo, they're the only two. They're literally the only two. Look, Thiago's left, but Thiago didn't play anyway.
No.
And because he was injured. But if Thiago was never injured and fit, I think we wouldn't have bought on Gravenberch, like K-Mac said. If Thiago was never injured, we wouldn't have bought Gravenberch. So it wouldn't have been an issue, but we have bought Gravenberch. I just don't. Where does everyone fit?
I genuinely felt like Klopp thought Thiago was going to be his other DM. Like I genuinely thought he was going to be his DM.
If Thiago played, he would have played the 6th role.
Yeah.
If Thiago was fit,
that was it. He was going to play him and Mac.
Yeah.
Which would have been sourced, by the way.
I think that was the plan. I actually think that was the plan, was a double pivot of McAllister and Thiago. And Szoboszlai was going to be the free man, like the number 10. Yeah. I think that was the plan, but Thiago's fitness never happened, so they could never put it into practice. And we never got to see it.
17 minutes, mate.
Never got to see it all season. Them three played together.
17 minutes. Isn't that mad as well? Because I think we only had Arthur for 17 minutes as well.
Yeah.
He got injured for the season.
Obviously, yeah, I do think that was the plan, though. Looking at the way the transfers have gone, Thiago and McAllister double pivot, because he played McAllister in that deeper role for a reason, and he spoke about it for a reason, saying he can play there, no problem. Yeah. So I do think he was looking at Thiago McAllister, Szoboszlai as his free player, and that's why I bought Gravenberch. So he thought Gravenberch could do that same 10 role as well, but Thiago's fitness never improved, and he got worse and worse.
Yeah.
So Gravenberch couldn't get minutes because he didn't fit the 4-3-3 we were playing at the time, so he couldn't play. So it does all make, when you think about it, all does make sense what the plan was, but it never comes to fruition. Now you're looking at the team now, and we're talking about getting this midfielder, that midfielder, and that midfielder.
Where do they go?
Where do they go? Where do they play? And like with Thiago, his best position at any football club he ever played in was in a double pivot.
Yeah.
I mean, what, at Barcelona, Bayern Munich, it was in a double pivot, so he doesn't have to run around a lot. He's like the Pirlo of your team. You know, he's the one who gets the freedom in the middle of the pitch where he's not marked to do his thing. But it never worked out for us.
We even tried Gomez there.
Yeah. It's Robbie said the system will be 4-1-3-1-2. What, 4 at the back, DM, 3 in front of them. That's very narrow, though, ain't it?
That sounds a bit mad.
So back 4, a DM.
So they're not going to really be a back 4, are they? They're going to be the left back and the right back are going to be really pushed high.
So the right back and left back will be used as your width again.
Yeah, so they're the
I'll have that because that means Trent can just do what he used to do.
And the three's going to be, so the one's going to be a DM with then 3 midfield. He doesn't play with 3 midfielders like that though, does he? He plays with 2. And he plays with Weaver in the. So he's got like Timber, and he's got who's the other guy? Oh, who's that other guy? I can't remember the other guy he's got.
Oh, Robbie says correct. So that might be, look, that works. So what? You play the back 4. You play the DM. Let's say the DM right now is Rotaro Endo. Let's just go with this, right? Rotaro Endo is the DM, yeah, and then the midfield 3 in front of him would be what, McAllister, Szoboszlai on the right of him, and then
that's 11 there, by the way. You got too many. I think maybe the 1 is the one that needs to come out. So it's 4-3-1-2.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Oh yeah.
That's 11 without that's 11 without the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I just noticed that myself. You know what? It's because I was looking at the 3 as a 2. Yeah. I was looking at the 3 as a 2. That's why. 4. Yeah. I don't know if it will be. I think it'll be 4-3-3, but our fullbacks go back to being fullbacks like they used to be.
Yeah, I think so.
I just don't want Trent inverting anymore. Right, the Trent situation. This is what
He could play left back for England, by the way. Trent.
This is where I'm going with Trent. I've seen
a lot of rumours he's going to be the left back cover.
I watched a video yesterday. About Trent playing his slot system. It got me intrigued.
Ooh, who was that by?
It was Trent at left back.
I've seen that video as well. Yeah, I like it.
And
I like it, by the way.
It was Trent at left back, and the reason they're talking about Trent at left back is to play the inverted role from left back instead of playing it from right back, and having that freedom on the left-hand side to come inside on his right foot. I've seen that going around. It's an intriguing video. If I found a link, I'd pull it up for you to go and have a look. It's random.
I don't know how I'd feel about Virgil having to do that job, though.
And that's the thing. Virgil's never had to do the job of the covering centre back of inverted full. If there's any defender who can do it, obviously it's Virgil. But
can you imagine the argument? Can you imagine the argument they'd have if he slacks, if Trent slacks, because Virgil's right next to him.
Scraps, I agree with you, man. He plays 4-3-3. I totally agree. That's what slot plays, man.
He does.
I know he's never played left back. I'm not saying this is the case, by the way, guys. I'm just saying the stuff I've seen. There's a couple of there's a video about it. It's a big channel, got loads of views and all that, speaking about it quite in depthly, quite intelligently, and they're not just coming out with shit. And then I've seen some other people talking about it on social media today. I see some Liverpool reporters talking about it over the weekend, talking about like there's this idea of Trent playing at left back. Where he can invert from that left-hand side onto it, coming into the middle on his left-hand side, so he can come onto his right foot, like Arsenal do, because they're talking about at Arsenal, Timber will play left back for Arsenal and invert from left back. It's just, and Trent is good on his left foot. It's just that it's a weird one. It's a weird take that I've never heard anyone say before till I saw it today. I just don't know how that works.
For me, mate, what I'd rather have Bradley play as a left back.
It's
he's basically a Robertson regen.
And
play him as left back and play Trent as right back.
And the way I look at it as well, I don't want Trent doing any inverting anymore. Just go back to doing what you used to do.
Yeah.
I watched a game back recently when Liverpool played Tottenham because it was on Sky for some reason.
Oh, mate, that's
and Liverpool versus Tottenham was on Sky the other day, right? A game a couple of weeks ago. Trent was excellent in that game.
I know, but then 70 minutes happened, and he just decided
to
stop playing.
For the first hour, Trent played as a regular right back. He played as a regular right back, up and down.
Unbelievable, mate.
Up and down. He was overlapping. He was overlapping Mo Salah and getting to the corners and crossing balls in.
He got an assist.
That switch of play to Robbo on the left-hand side like he used to do.
Sick,
he looked amazing. And then for some reason, we made a substitute around the 65-minute mark, and Trent went inverted and went missing for the rest of the game. And it's like, Trent's no good at it. Trent is not good at inverting.
I just don't think he knows. Like like what he's supposed to be doing. Like, am I doing this? Am I doing that? Like, don't give him too many things to do. It's a really interesting one, mate. Who was that lad, the Welsh lad that they had for Tottenham? Because Trent just literally had him in his pocket.
Trent, look,
He was brilliant. He's had some really good games, like just as a right back.
If Trent's going to play in this team, he's just got to be a regular out-and-out right back. No more of this inverting stuff, because when Trent is head on with somebody in the right back position, he's actually pretty good. What Trent's weakness is the ball in behind. Trent's weakness of positioning with the ball in behind is dreadful. He doesn't read the game. But if the ball is in front of you and the player is in front of you, like this, Trent is actually all right. He's comfortable. But as soon as anything goes in behind him and he leaves space, Trent is gone. This is why when he inverts, we have so much trouble in behind Trent. Why do you reckon people play long balls all the time against us? All the time.
Yep.
He plays better as an out-and-out right back where he's up and down. Up and down. He gets more freedom. You get Trent past the halfway line on the ball in a wide right position. That's where I want him. Trent past the halfway line in the opposition's half on the wide right side of the pitch. He's getting chalk on his boots in all that space. That's where I want Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's where he's more devastating. I don't want to see Trent in the middle of the pitch. I just don't.
I mean, everyone. There's loads of people like saying like Trent in midfield, but Trent hasn't played in midfield. Like, he really hasn't. Like, he hasn't played as a proper midfielder. Like, you know, he's maybe done like 1 or 2 games. Like, being in midfield as a midfielder the whole game is a completely different way of playing than being a right back that drifts into midfield when you're not in midfield, because you're not being picked up like a midfielder, which means you have more time on the ball, you have everything in front of you, and you're not in the midfield battling as the midfielder. So you haven't got a man up on you. Like, we haven't seen Trent do that. So we don't know whether he's going to be any good at it. And judging at the way he plays, I don't think he's going to be good at it.
No, Trent needs freedom.
Trent needs to be allowed to have space. He's not going to have that in midfield.
Space and freedom. That's what he needs. Trent as a wing back in a back five would be fantastic.
I couldn't imagine Trent being in the muck and the nettles right in the middle of the park.
Trent as a wing back. I think that's always been, for me, Trent should always play as a wing back. You play a back three and you play Trent right wing back and he cooks. You got to get Trent in space, man. Trent in space is different. It's different. For some reason, we took Trent's best abilities away from him.
We did.
And I don't get it. Big up Scratch Jamie. He said, Jamie, what was the game I messaged you at half time saying Trent was class playing as a right back? Then he came out second half of that. But it was the Spurs game, I think, Scraps. I think it was the Spurs game, man. Yoro is Madrid bound. I reckon he is an absolute gem. I don't know if he's Madrid bound just yet. Liverpool are very in for him.
I think he's playing us off.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think he's playing us off for a Madrid move.
I think Liverpool will go buy a young centre back of this class and for a lot of money as well.
I think Pancho could be it, you know.
Yeah, William Pancho, is it? Is that the one?
I think he could be it. He looks
really
good.
A diamond,
and he plays left as well, by the way. He's left-footed. I don't care what anyone says, like whether he plays for Everton or not. I'd just throw 50 million at Braithwaite.
Braithwaite's
sensational. He's absolutely sensational.
He's been the best. I love Kwanzaa, but Braithwaite's been the best under 23-year-old defender in the league this year.
Just throw 50 million at him. Like, he lives in Liverpool. Surely that's an easy transition.
I just feel like, you know, is Liverpool go for players they know are willing to come to the football club. And if Braithwaite's not willing to come to Liverpool, there's no way of getting him to Liverpool. They just won't go for him. You know,
he's not an Everton youth player though. He was signed from, I can't remember who he signed from, Chesterfield or something like that.
I think Braithwaite wants I'm here and he wants Man United.
I think Braithwaite might end up at Real Madrid, if I'm honest, mate.
Braithwaite's a good
Ancelotti gave him his break.
Good play, man.
By the
Kwanzaa's
way.
a good player. I mean, I think Liverpool look at it though and go,
Cross a Braithwaite, mate. Oh.
do you know what it is though? I think
That's
Liverpool
the
might look at it
England.
and
That's
go,
the England centre backs for the next 10 years.
I think Braithwaite should be the. By the way, I think Braithwaite should start in for England at Euros.
He should.
Centre back.
He should.
Carlisle.
There you go. Carlisle. He signed him from.
Liverpool. Do Liverpool look at it though and go 50, 60 million for Braithwaite when we got Kwanzaa?
Well, he's left-footed. He's left-footed.
Yeah, I think they'll look at it and go, we don't need another British Kwanzaa when we got Kwanzaa. So they'll look at someone like Pacho. What's his name?
Pacho. I think it's Pacho.
They look at someone like him.
Yeah.
That's a bit different. You know, I think that's what they would do. That's what they would do. It like, but look, it's interesting, guys. We could talk about this all day, but we're going to leave it there. Thank you guys for joining us all night tonight. I appreciate it. Sorry about my rant earlier. It's just I get frustrated with so much crap on football. It does my head in. It really does. It was nice saying that I don't like foreign players at the beginning, which was absolutely mad. Or foreign managers, was it, when I was praising Pochettino? It's almost frank. But yeah, big up, guys. Apparently that the Ipswich manager McKenna's going to Brighton. That was breaking while we were live, apparently. So yeah.
Haven't Ipswich just been promoted?
Yeah, McKenna's going to Brighton, man. They just nicked his
mental.
Manager.
You give it another go, wouldn't you? Come on.
The Leicester manager is now favourite for the United job.
Wow.
It's the world we live in now, man.
Got business done. Like I said, chat, the adults are back. The adults in the room. We'll just do things the right way now.
But yeah, big up to everyone. Thanks you very much.
We're already one step ahead of everybody. We've got all of our business done for all of our staff.
Well, yeah, that's before I finish that is actually true. You look at it.
Everyone's back. Everyone's in work in a couple
of days' time. Liverpool got their whole backroom staff. The whole backroom staff. Brand new manager. He's bringing his assistant with him. His two assistants are coming with him as well now. So he's got his two assistants with him. I think I've got the picture here actually. Before we go, here we go. There it is. So that's Liverpool's brand new structure done before the end of the season with a new manager. That's it right there.
Fantastic work.
By the way, this Pedro guy, watch out for him, guys. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He
used to be at Man City, by the way.
Yeah, he's tremendous at his job. So is that Ben Lately as a commercial director, by the way. But that's the structure and we got a new manager in at the same time before the end of the season. All that was in place before the end of the season, guys. Do you know how mad that is? And now we're looking at Man United, who still don't know if they're going to sack Ten Hag or not. You know, still mucking around with who's going to do what at the club. You know, it's better than what people give. You know, some teams are still messing around, man. Some teams are still messing around. But
what we've been doing now, probably for the last couple of weeks, is sorting out our transfers. Like we're probably trying to get players signed before they even go on their international duty. And you'll have all these other clubs who haven't even got managers who even know what they're signing. We've got a guy in. Like I can guarantee that Arnie Slott's probably been chatting to Hughes about who he wants. Like they've been talking about, where we need to strengthen. Like honestly, we are in such a good place.
And Chelsea just let Pochettino go, who ended the season brilliantly. By the way,
nobody knew he was going. His players didn't even know,
and they're all heartbroken. They wanted him to stay. So he's gone. So they got to look around for a new manager. Man United don't know what they're going to do with Ten Hag. Bayern Munich are employing Vincent Kompany. The Ipswich manager's going to Brighton. When Liverpool was sitting there going, well, we've got everything done. Are we that bad are we that terribly run as a football club? I'll leave it on that, guys. Big up to everyone here. Much appreciated. Much love. See you again soon, guys. Bye-bye.